Hello, Fan Gang! Hope everyone's having a fantastic week so far. Today, we are continuing the life and suffering of Sir Brante in the times of the fall of the blessed Arachnean Empire. I got my reading glasses on, so let's dive back into where you left off. We have just entered college. Oh, got this volume. You have spent the last 3 days studying books, actually to catch up last time. We got to College Town, and we spent the first night there partying our ass off to get our willpower back up. We, now that we're out of childhood, we're a 16-year-old adult, legal adult, thank you very much. We can drink, we can party. That's 16 years old. Our old childhood skills got converted over to 6 new ones: diplomacy, valor, theology, eloquence, manipulation, and scheming. However, only having one perception as a wee babe completely tanked our stats. We might be fucked on this run, I'm not gonna lie. But we still have time. We can still recover, because we can still upgrade our stats as we go along. We have spent the last 3 days studying books and taking a throat lozenge. Oh. But today, you decide to take a walk through the streets of Eterna. They are full of life as usual. You proceed to the square next to the lodging house. A procession of priests walk through the square. You notice that one of them holds a banner of the new faith, an open book. This is the same banner that was behind Patriarch Photis on the day of his assassination. I mean, martyrdation. That boy got murdered. A crowd immediately gathers around them. Many people are looking at an icon painting on a small pedestal depicting a gray-haired man with glowing green eyes. You recognize that face, the face of the late Patriarch Photis. Excuse me. A man with a thick beard appears by the icon painting. His broad shoulders bear a white and gold cloak, with the coat of arms of the capital province embroidered on it. He is Luke, Patriarch of Arachnia. He casts a stern gaze over the crowd. I speak to all who live within the sight of the shining pillar. Exactly 1 year ago, we lost Photis, Patriarch of the Magra province, mentor of the new faith. Patriarch Photis was the first to see the books of Isacius as nothing but the words of a man, not the words of the twins themselves. False gods that they are. He was the first to tell people to seek the path to the gods in their own hearts instead of blindly following the lots. To seek answer in the lives of the twins in their own hearts rather than the words of the priests. Through Patriarch Photis, we were able to see the truth. Through his death, we saw that his words are not heresy. They are the truth that used to be obscured by Isacius' lies. And now I bring good news. Patriarch Junius Diamant has seen to it that our teacher will be canonized as a saint. Yes, Junius Diamant, an Arachnean from a great dynasty, and the Patriarch of Astinia, has joined the new faith himself. And through this, we hope that the entire empire will soon see that our doctrine is the truth. We are free from the shackles of the lots. We are equal before the twins. With each day, more and more people hearken to the truth, and one day the entire empire will hear our call. So let's pray, my brothers. And take a sip of tea. The believers around you bow their heads in prayer and thank the twins, not for the lot they were given, as they usually would, but for the chance to choose their own path. The Patriarch's sermon is inspiring. It compels your hands to meet in a sign of prayer. It compels your lips to repeat the words of the new faith, which is equally false as the old one. Patriarch Luke's sermon forms a cadence, and your heart beats in time with it now. You recall the murder of Patriarch Photis a year ago. It seems more patriarchs share his doctrine now because it's politically convenient for them. Because they don't want to get guillotined with everyone else if the revolution comes, brother. The news of Junius Diamant joining the new faith is stunning. If an Arachnean from a great dynasty has sided with Photis' doctrine, and agree to see everyone as equals under the twins, the new faith must truly be putting down roots. But suddenly, several figures appear by the podium, figures clad in black, with glinting silver on their sides. Inquisitors. They push through the crowd and form a circle around Patriarch Luke. One of these priests rises before the crowd. He is clean-shaven, tall with chiseled features. Everyone falls silent at the sight of him. The Inquisitor speaks with a booming voice that can be heard by all. I am Father Ulrich. In the name of the twins and by my right as an Inquisitor, I order you to turn around and leave. The words you're hearing are full of lies. Patriarch Luke has set out to poison your hearts and minds, and the Inquisition will not allow this heresy to spread. The only true path in life is the will of the twins. Life offers us no other choice. You are hereby ordered to disperse at once. Well, that's interesting because I remember Patriarch Photis had an Inquisitor by him when he died, and that Inquisitor was also trying to save his life. So that's... maybe there's a schism within the Inquisition too? Most people want to leave the square immediately. Few want to get involved with the Inquisition. Some people stay, however. Some even shout angrily, "We want to listen to Luke! He is the Patriarch of Arkney and he has more to say! Get away from our sermon, old believers! We will not listen to you and your hoary old lies about the lots." Icy old lies? Because horror is like H-O-A-R, not with the W. Means like icy and briny, I think. Inquisitors, bring those who may yet listen back to their lots, and leave the others to the champions of faith. The black-clad Inquisitors descend from the podium and approach the people who chose to stay. With nothing but their words, they make people stop shouting and start listening. The uproar ceases quickly. They have dissected the crowd, split it in smaller groups that surround each Inquisitor. One of these Inquisitors chooses to approach you. He is a humble-looking man of age with a rough haircut. He looks you straight in the eye as his lively, soulful voice forces you to listen to his words despite yourself. My name is Father Jeremiah. I know your thoughts were stirred by the Patriarch's words. You are not sure whom to trust. But I teach at the seminary. I have been studying the teachings of the twins my entire life. You can trust me. I know you can hear what I have to say. I see their light in your eyes, the light of the true faith. Will you listen to my counsel, my son? Ooh, he's making a creepy appeal to authority there. I don't like it. You feel no malice in the words of the Inquisitor Jeremiah, only hope. It is his lot to aid you, to guide you away from error and set you on the path of the true faith. He is a priest, so he should know the truth. Or perhaps the Inquisitor himself is in the wrong. Ooh, choice time. Listen for a theology point. We could use more theology. Debate for eloquence. Ooh, we like eloquence. You argue against the Inquisitor and in the favor of the new faith, although I don't like that. Accept his counsel or resist. You refuse to be ordered around by him. It is not the clergy's place to give orders. But he is an Inquisitor. Diplomacy. What's the skill breaks? Because they have higher ones now. Diplomacy. Next one is at 10. Okay. The other one was eloquence? Eloquence. Now at 10, it will go to 11, so that's already past that. Theology is way the hell down there. I kind of want to get a point in on diplomacy. We could use more diplomacy. Yeah, because I want to make that break point sooner rather than later. So I don't want to argue for the new faith. However, oh wait, no, it's resist. Oh, we're gonna go full Karen and become a sovereign citizen on his ass. You strike a pose of authority and eye Father Jeremiah sharply. Inquisitors cannot order people around, you say. It is not within the lot of the clergy. Only nobles can give you orders. The other commoners look at you in terror. You have just defied an inquisitor. However, Father Jeremiah still looks at you without any of the anger you had expected. My son, your words do indeed contain a germ of truth. I am an inquisitor of the clergy, and by the will of the twins, I cannot give you any orders. But know this, the Inquisition does not imprison everyone suspected of heresy. We exist to protect souls, to guide and save them. We pursue dangerous doctrines and seek to rescue every soul we meet. Arrest or execution is our last resort, reserved only for sinners beyond redemption. You can see that I'm merely speaking to you right now. I have not resorted to force, nor am I giving you any orders. But if the need arises, I will summon the champions of faith. Nobles who will be there to give orders and punish those who defy the church. Okay, I didn't know that. I didn't know that was a thing. We're learning. But as long as you are not calling for the overthrow of faith, you are safe from them. And as you said, it is not within my lot to give you orders. You are free to go, but expect no mercy in the hereafter. For after we die, there will be none. Good thing I don't believe in your false gods. I kind of like him, though. I mean, for an Inquisitor, he's not bad. Clearly a manipulator, but as far as Inquisitors go, I kind of like him. With a bitter smile, the Inquisitor leaves you and proceeds further. You leave the square freely, your dignity preserved. The remaining people in the square continue arguing with the other Inquisitors. Armed champions of faith stand nearby, but they do not intervene. Luke and his retinue can no longer be seen. Only one thing keeps nagging at you. Father Jeremiah's words about how there will be no mercy in the hereafter. Good, because I forgot to change my audio over. Also good, because I don't want any of their false gods' mercy. I'm making my own destiny, I'm making my own mercy. Year 1134 Fall, the advance of the new faith. Patriarch Luke's sermons have converted many commoners and nobles of the mantle to the new faith. There are now several temples in Eterna that follow the new canons with Luke's blessing. This has led to no small amount of anger among the followers of the new faith. Two mighty bishops of the church lead the new faith. One of them is Luke, the Patriarch of Archnia himself, spiritual mentor of the capital province. He preaches all across Archnia, his every sermon adding to the new faith's flock. The other leader of the new faith is Patriarch Junius Diamant, hailing from a great Archnian dynasty. He is the de facto ruler of Astinia province, adored by his subjects. He has founded the Holy Order anew. Junius Diamant rarely preaches, but people believe the Astinian Patriarch attends to the needs of all who convert to the new faith. Hey, Granton, hope you're having a good night. The schism within the church is growing. The split has furthered the divide between the commoners and nobles, though thankfully, there's been no direct conflict as of yet. But it has become clear that there is no way to stop the steady advance of the new faith. Born from the death of Patriarch Photis, it grows stronger by the day, because that's how martyrs work, baby. Okay, I'm fine with schism. Order could be better. I'm not all about lawless at present. However, I'm not in love with the laws. So, the city that never sleeps. The next few weeks pass by in hard work and preparation for the coming entrance exam at the Imperial College. You grow more and more exhausted with each passing day, so much so that one night you fall asleep while studying another book. When you finally come to, you decide it is high time to get some recreation outside. The city of Eterna amazes you as you stroll through its splendid streets. It is another night, a different night, yet the city is beautiful still. The shining pillar is a slice of light against the dark night sky. The lamps on the facades of the buildings are lit. Night descends on the capital. you don't feel like going back to your books tonight. Recently, you made the acquaintance of several young men. They are children of nobles of the mantle, just like you, sent to the capital to earn their noble titles at the college. You decide to seek them out. God damn, look at her go. That lady, she is double fisting it. She is killing that tankard. God damn. Your new friends are having a late dinner on this next street over, loudly discussing their plans for the night. Some speak eagerly of a dueling club where you can see the most skilled and ardent duelers in the Empire doing what they do best. You have never seen professional duelers fight. It must be far more exciting than Father's fencing lessons or that fight in the ruins of Anizote. And if luck favors you, perhaps you can even make useful contacts among the noble families in the capital. Ooh, I wonder if we could see Stefan there. The others try to convince the rest to take a trip to a certain secret salon. The establishment is expecting a guest tonight, they say, a young lady who speaks about the true state of affairs in the Empire. Ooh, that's interesting. There are many questions about the nature of the place and the identity of the mysterious speaker, but the young men have only one answer. They are forbidden to speak about this outside the club. However, they can take you there as long as you aren't afraid to learn a dangerous truth. Oh, I think we stumbled into the secret society, didn't we? There are others still, drinking their fill of wine rather than eating. Fencing, they say. Speeches, nonsense. The place you ought to go tonight, they claim, is the Markian Society, a gathering for those of common estate but uncommon opinions that offer pleasures for everyone. Pleasures of the palate, pleasures of drink, pleasures of the flesh. Is this not heresy and a crime? Perhaps. And yet some of your newfound friends are eager to go there. In the end, your group splits into 3 to spend the night as they see fit. What will it be? A contest featuring the best fencers in Eterna, an establishment both mysterious and dangerous, or an encounter with people who defy their lot with audacity? I'm willing to bet that we would encounter Stefan there, and I kind of want to see our bro and cheer him on. Because he kind of earned that just for saving Sister that one time, didn't he? He at least deserves some cheerleading from us. Or the secret salon. Ooh, scheming. I like scheming. Ooh. Or theology? Wait. You agree to join these people who have traded away the bliss of the hereafter for all the pleasures of life for a theology point? That's an interesting way to get a theology point. Although for me, it's between the secret salon and the dueling club, and that's a really hard call for me. Because I like the scheming and the secret society, the sounds of that, but I really want to go see if Stefan is there. You know what? I think we should go with family. When in doubt, we should go with family. You march down the street towards the dueling club, which is located in a manor house, decorated rather modestly on the outside, but lavishly on the inside. One of your newfound friends nods to the servants, and they let you in. The rooms are stuffy, noisy, and filled with tobacco smoke. Interesting. That's kind of an anachronism that they would have tobacco. I mean, this isn't Europe. This is a fictional setting. But it's interesting because you wouldn't normally associate tobacco with medieval fantasy. Which path interests you the most in this run? I'm going with my gut right now, and I'm hoping that we encounter Stefan here. The sitting room, another funny anachronism that I just got reminded of, is how when Tolkien's Middle Earth, there's corn, which is a New World crop. Also tomatoes, I think. The sitting room is enormous. In the center is an arena, a circle with wooden railings. 2 young nobles are fighting there already. You take a glass of wine from a servant and watch the fight from one of the many soft chairs. You cannot bear a sword yet, but nobody says you cannot watch. As soon as a dueler is wounded, the fight ends. But the way they fight so makes the audience gasp and scream in awe. When a dueler is too slow to dodge, the duel ends with a bright red line cut through his sweat-soaked white shirt. The thin fencing swords cut through the air so quickly, you only see glints of flashing steel, like lightning in a storm. You do your best to remember all the feints and tricks you see tonight. They'll come in handy when you earn your own sword. And then a tall, young Arachnean enters the room. He barges in from behind you and leaps into the arena between the two fencers, thus ending the duel. He bears a coat of arms with a griffin. This Arachnean hails from the great dynasty of Orgriff. Orgriff, that's the name. Is that on our map? Where's the map? Orgriff. Great dynasty of Orgniff. Orgriff? Where's Orgriff? A griffin. I'm looking for a griffin. Illyria? Yeah, Orgriff. The strongest industrial province of the empire, ruled over by the Orgriff dynasty. The noble landowners of Illyria lease out their land to commoners to build new factories and mines, a practice that continues to this day. Illyria was the birthplace of gunpowder and the firearms that employed it before the noble estate banned its use across the empire as weapons of dishonor. That sounds like a hose-mad skill issue right there. Neat. The Arachnean's voice booms as he challenges everyone in the audience to a duel. He sneers smugly. If you consider yourself nobles, then how about you face an Arachnean lord in honorable combat? No one moves. No one dares to step forth. A duel with an Arachnean is suicide, especially if that Arachnean hails from one of the great dynasties. Such a duel will end with a lesser death at best, or with a true death through trial and execution at worst. Everyone knows the punishment for spilling blue blood, and so everyone remains silent. Yo, I'm up for a lower death. I'm up for that. Let's go. The Arachnean grins. So humans are cowards, he says. You will never be true nobles if you are never ready to risk a lesser death. Then Arachnean honor and tradition is not for you, and war is not your domain either. For human nobles are but a mockery, a gathering of animals dressed to resemble higher beings. Oh, he is asking for a furious ass beating. Or a guillotine. A man leaps into the arena. He is tall as a tree. His pockmarked face is white with rage and covered in scars. There are whispers of reverence in the audience. This is Marth Ferasti, the owner of the club. He has accepted the challenge for the honor of all human nobles. He has yearned to fight an Arachnean all his life. Now is his chance. I like him already. Also, I wonder if Marth is a reference to Fire Emblem. The duelers salute each other, and Sir Feresti begins the attack. A lunge, a jab, another, and then another. The young Arachnean deflects each attack like he knows his opponent's every move. Sir Feresti's eyes twitch with tension. The owner of the club lunges again, but the Arachnean deflects his sword and rips the weapon out of the human's hand. Marth Feresti looks at the Arachnean in confusion, then bows his head in recognition of his defeat. The Orgriff roof flashes a proud, superior grin. His fencing sword lifts the sleeve of his devoted opponent. It bears 3 black marks of lesser death. Now the young Arachnean eyes Sir Feresti with a mockery of sadness and compassion. Why, it appears the poor, overeager ex-commoner is on his last life. Is he about to kill Marth? Oh, this motherfucker. Ferasti shudders. He asks the Orgriff youth to be so kind as to spare his life. Nobleman to nobleman. The Arachnean's face grows dark and grim. His sword stabs deep into Feresti's chest. Then the Orgriff youth speaks, loud enough for everyone to hear. He is the only noble in this hall, he says, and everyone who saw this must forget the dueling club ever existed and leave this place, never to return. The nobles scowl, dress reluctantly, and leave with quiet resentment. No one dares to defy an Arachnean openly. The nobles' gathering disperses outside. You return to your lodging house, lost in thought. Arachneans stand far above humans. They do not care if you are a commoner or a high-ranking noble. In their eyes, you are only human. It seems there is nothing that can readily oppose Arcanian power. They're the masters of this world, and humans are pale reflections of them at best. The trip to the dueling club ended on a grim note, but you learned a lot from watching Eterna's best duelers in action. You recall their lunges and blocks before you sleep, rather than the master of the dueling club being murdered in cold blood. Actually, it wasn't a murder, because he accepted the duel. I mean, I don't know the laws of dueling in this world, but arguably, I'm gonna assume that the Arcanian could legally kill the loser of the duel based on the context we were provided. Anyways. That's cool, though. I like that. 1 year later, 1135. Damn, we've been studying the entire year. Spring! The Code of Laws. You're on your way to the largest library in Eterna to study for your entry exams. It is right next to the college. The streets are full of people. Everybody is excited. You hesitate for a few seconds, then let your curiosity get the better of you and head towards the place where you will soon study. Before long, you hear the shouting. The great chancellor is about to give a speech about the future of the empire. You cannot possibly miss this. You mix with the crowd and soon find a convenient place to listen and watch what it is about to unfold. On the steps of the college, you see a small tribune guarded by 2 Arcanians armed with swords. This is the first time you've ever seen an Arcanian standing guard, let alone 2 of them. The doors of the college open to reveal a stately Arcanian surrounded by an honor guard. It is he, Cornelius Tempest, great chancellor of the empire, younger brother to the emperor himself. He heads for the tribune and casts a look over the square. It is full of people in awe and utter silence. Long ago, humans witnessed the Arcanians' arrival. The 2 nations built the empire side by side. The provinces joined us one by one, and Magra was the final province to attain the absolute might and majesty of the blessed Arcanian Empire. Yet, there was another great event long before that. 1,000 years ago, the twins had graced us with their presence. With their arrival, the twins granted us their will. They showed us their love and their law, and they granted us knowledge of what awaits us in the hereafter. They chose the dynasty of Tempest to rule the empire, and from that day forth, our dynasty has ruled this land, ordained by the gods themselves. The false gods. However, it is our duty to the twins not to seek power for power's sake, but rather to lead the empire to further prosperity. And so the Great Imperial Council is soon to review and adopt a new set of laws called the Creed. Under the Creed, all estates will be granted rights. Under the Creed, there will be one law for all Imperial citizens to obey, human or Arcanian, from lowliest commoner to the Emperor himself. Okay, that's sounding okay. If attacking an Arcanian, even an open challenge to duel, is lesser death, then they should not legally be allowed to challenge humans. You're not wrong, but this is a society clearly built for the betterment and advancement of Arcanians at the expense of humans. So, because of that, I have a hard time thinking that they would care. Well, I mean, now they probably would care because the way society is turning in this story, but yeah, I don't disagree with you. I wonder if you have, like, min-max the fuck out of your fighting and nobility stats if you get a chance to, like, accept the duel challenge, even though you're not even a noble. The strife among the estates will end. A single law will resolve all of our quarrels. Glory to the Empire. The great chancellor throws his arms into the air. The crowd murmurs and applauds in approval. Cornelius Tempest casts another look over the crowd and leaves. The crowd disperses. The sounds of agitated discussion are everywhere. Is it true that the Emperor's dynasty seeks to grant equal rights to all estates? What will happen to the Empire then? Civil War, baby! Get the guillotine! Actually, this is probably their attempt to head off a revolution before the guillotines get made. So fair enough. Oh. Current balance of power. Ooh, it's about to get nasty. It's about to get nasty. It is very shortly about to get nasty. We went from -5 to 2 real fast in this game. It's not going to be long before we hit Reign of Terror. The girl from your past. It is early morning. You have been awake since sunrise studying. There's a knock at the door. Is it a letter from home or hotel servant? You open the door and freeze, stunned. Hello, Brante. Hi, witch. What do you want, witch? You're not looking as great as you used to. You got to do something with your hair. It's a little witchy. Before you stand Sophia, the girl who used to live next door. She's all grown up now. She looks so different. You would always recognize those blue eyes, even if they're yellow now. No matter what. You gesture for her to come in. Sophia enters the room, glances around, and sits in an armchair. You eye the girl you used to know as you sit across from her. But the young woman you see now has little in common with the girl you used to know. There is cold steel in the way she looks at things. Her hair is cut short. But what is she doing here? She got kind of a lady mullet. I can explain. I've been living in Eterna for a long time now, ever since I ran from Anazote. I heard the other day that you left for the capital to get into the college, so I found you, and here I am. You ask how Sophia learned about your arrival and where you are staying, but she answers your questions with an excuse me while I porky pig out. Well, with an enigmatic smile. We'll get to that later. Right now, I want to see how much you've changed since last we saw each other. As for me, I've changed a lot. I'm a whole different person now. I'm already not liking Sophia. I'm not liking this presentation. She's got, I don't know. I don't like it. You look away. She's presenting herself in a way that's clearly trying to impress us, and it's not working. In fact, it's doing the opposite. You look away as you recall your previous encounter, back when Sophia ran away from her Arcanian master. Sophia chuckles as she continues. Would you like to know what happened next? I traveled through the entire empire all alone. I had nothing. My journey ended only when I reached this place, the capital, with all its important people and events. This is the heart of the empire. It's a place where I can make a difference. I've made friends here, found people I can truly call family. I've even gotten an education of sorts, and I have a purpose now. I fight against injustice. I fight against the lots. I fight those who treat our lives like mud on the pavement. Okay, let's just get this conversation over with. She's one of those. And no, I'm not afraid to tell you that. I came to you for a good reason. I need help. I know you. I have faith in your good heart. And besides, this is also about the Imperial College you want to enroll in. There's a scholar there by the name of Bartholomew Dextra. He teaches natural sciences at the college. Dextra is an old man, but he's quite progressive. He'll stop at nothing to advance science and acquire new knowledge. As you know, only second-generation nobles or above are allowed to teach at the college. But Dextra, he is a commoner. He forged his patent of nobility to get a position at the college. But the secret chancellery recently learned of this. Dextra is about to face true death for this forgery. And how is that justice? A man wants to teach people, and for this, they're going to take all his lives. They're going to punish him for the crime of being born in the wrong estate. It's evil and obscene. I will not stand for it. Dextra deserves to be rescued. Oh my god. We're not even in college. She's asking us to break the law. But I don't want to put anyone in danger, so I need your help. You're from a rich family. You're almost a noble. If you help me get Dexter out of the city, nobody will suspect anything. No one will know, and the scholar will live on to continue his research elsewhere, far away from the secret chancellery. Will you help me? I don't know. You feel perplexed by Sophia's sudden request. She is asking you to break imperial law and undermine the work of a secret chancellery to save the scholar. Is it secret if they have a capital S? That doesn't seem like it would be secret anymore if they have a proper name. To save the scholar, rescuing Dexter would be an adventure, but it would also be incredibly dangerous. And besides, Dexter is a fake noble, who used orders to lies and deceit to get his current position. How much does this matter to you? Sophia's blue eyes are studying you. I thought she had yellow eyes because she was a witch. We can help her because she doesn't hate our guts. YouTube is throwing up a warning. That's interesting. Is my internet still on? My internet still looks on. Okay. I think the stream is so good, so I'm gonna assume it's okay. Help her for, a scheming and a valor? Ooh, those are both stats I like. Okay. Or get valor and diplomacy to refuse. We could use more diplomacy. That would put us over the breakpoint for diplomacy. Oh, they flash yellow as she uses magic. Got it. And we can't do it. What does this mean? You turn Sophia over to Auden. If you help her now, it will make up for what you did to her. Like I would give a fuck about that. Nah, I don't care. Whatever. Stat-wise, these are both pretty good. Scheming and valor or valor and diplomacy. Just stat-wise, ignoring the context, I would go for refuse for that diplomacy to get us over the breakpoint. Because that's pretty good. Yeah, no, it's the chat, thanks. It looks like it's okay. I think it was just YouTube being YouTube. And I don't like Sophia, so shutting her down now would set a good precedent for me. But this Valor is now 14 and would take us to 15. What's the next breakpoint? Is 16. So that would put us close to dangerous enemy. And I feel like the sooner we're battle hardened, the better. Like, just in general. I have concerns when the revolution comes. And, I kind of want to have my valor up. Just in case. But I think I'm going to refuse her because I don't like... I was already pretty mid on Sophia before the last time we saw her in Anazodi. But her whole presentation here, or how she's presenting herself to us, I'm not about it. I'm not liking this. So we're going to refuse to shut her down and also get breakpoint on diplomacy. So I think this is a win-win for me right here. Like, if Sophia had presented this almost any other way, I probably would have helped the scholar, because I agree with saving the scholar. However, Sophia needs to stop acting like a know-it-all bitch. Let's be real here. Let's say how it is. No, you say. You are not going to help Sophia. You are not going to break any laws for her sake. You did not come to the capital for this. Dexter, a fake noble, deserves his fate. He tried to fool the law, the college, and the empire itself. Even a scientific genius must be punished for such forgery and deception. He had a paper that said he was noble, but only a sacrament can make a person a noble. So Dexter's crime is also an affront to the gods themselves. this is still the decision that I want, but I don't like what we're saying. I don't like it, but it's better than dealing with Sophia any further. Sophia leaps to her feet, her eyes burning her with wrath. It's about to shine with yellow light again. You see? This right here, I knew Sophia was putting up a front because now she's an insane witch. Yeah, I'm gonna point my finger at her some more. Your law makes slaves of us all. We are born, we live, and we die, all to serve those who are born in a higher estate. Is this the order you want to protect? No, it's just a matter of I don't want to associate with you in any way. Like, in any way, you are clearly mentally unhinged. The fire in Sophia's eyes fade. She suddenly grows silent, then continues calmly. And so be it. I don't blame you. It's not easy to break these chains when you've been wearing them ever since you were born. They bind you better than any magic. I hope you realize this before our great empire chews you and spits you out. Goodbye. Shut up. Shut up. You don't know me. You don't know that I'm chosen by the true God, the shadow. I smiled at the shadow and the shadow smiled back. I'm built different and you're built wrong. There's a difference. We are not the same, Sophia. Goddamn witch trying to act presumptuous like she knows me. Stupid bitch. Sophia leaves. The door shuts behind her. You return to your books. The entrance exam is coming up, and you have to work hard if you want to achieve your goals. Take that negative. Fuck her. A few days later, a newspaper article catches your eyes. Bartholomew Dextra, an elderly lecturer at the Imperial College, was arrested while attempting to escape the capital. The scholar was sentenced to breaking on the wheel and subsequent true death for forging a patent of nobility. And so the fake noble suffered in death as he was supposed to suffer in life. I don't like that. I feel like I would have gotten along pretty good with that professor. He would have been good for the revolution. But also, no, I don't want to associate with Sophia in any way. Like, if Sophia told me to build the guillotine,
I will never forget that day.
I would not, just because it was her.
For it was then that I chose the path I would walk for the rest of my life.
Oh boy. Maybe it was a good thing I got that diplomacy breakpoint. The 3 lots. There are only a few days left until the Imperial College entrance exam. History, law, theology. You spend all day reading and rereading the books you brought with you, staying at the Library of Eterna for hours until it closes. As the day of the exam approaches, your hands start shaking more and more. And finally, the day comes. Goddamn right, the shadow smiles upon me. I'm still waiting for the shadow to come back. It said it wasn't time yet, but it will be soon. A clear sky hangs over Eterna today. The breeze is warm. When do you say clouds hang? You don't really say the sky hangs unless it's cloudy. Because it's clear. There's nothing to hang. It's just an empty sky. Whatever. You dress in your best outfit, a gray jacket and velvet chulate trousers. You comb your hair carefully and polish your boots until they shine. You leave the lodging house and head for the Imperial College. Your legs grow heavier with each step. Your anxiety at the fact your fate will be decided today is virtually tearing you apart. Kind of surprised we never met up with Stefan last year. Something's happening. The college is a majestic building that looks not unlike a castle. In the square in front of it, you can already see several dozen people. Young men, sons of nobles of the mantle like you, waiting for the college's doors to open. Time slows to a crawl. This looks like a revolution not waiting for an exam. Huh. At last, the doors open. A stately man dresses dressed, and a professor's mantle appears at the entrance. He is the dean. That should be a capital D. The dean of the college. The students-to-be fall silent as the dean, with a capital D, gets ready to deliver his welcoming speech. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. But the silence is interrupted by a heavy footsteps and clanking of armor. A squadron of warriors emerge near the college, led by Arcanian officers. Their banner bears an image of golden grains. The noble militia of Monia province. What are they doing here? A squadron is a troop that is on horseback, usually. So this should be a troop of warriors, not a squadron so much. That's nitpicking. It's their fantasy. They can say what they want. The nobles of Monia form a circle around the college, each warrior moving quietly and precisely until a chain is formed. One of the Arcanians is clad in an old-fashioned suit of armor. He is the leader of the militia. He locks the bar and the massive doors of the college into place, then proceeds to the stairs to address the crowd loudly. Oh, I don't like him already. Commoners! Before he stands Agirius of the Monroe dynasty, Archduke of Monia. Map. Monia. Oh. So that's not even here. Those boys are in the wrong part of the country to think we give a fuck about them. By my will, the college is hereby closed, and today's entrance exams are canceled. Your lowly origins make you unfit for the great honor of rendering service to the Empire, a right that ought to be available only to hereditary nobles of the sword. This dude, he brought his dudes all the way across a fucking mountain range and a huge river to be in the wrong province where they don't have jurisdiction. Why the fuck is the dude from an entirely different province trying to exert influence on another province's college? What the hell? The grammar gets worse later. That's unfortunate. I figured that all the grammar stuff was due to the not being an English first game. I think this is a Russian game, maybe? I'm not sure. This dude. Habsburg-ass looking chin. The college's reputation has been tarnished. It breeds mock nobles who bear not a trace of noble blood. You belong in the lowly estate, but have forgotten your place. Cornelius Tempest and other traitors to the Empire are indulging you in defacing the institution of the nobility for their lowly interests. A noble lot for those of lowly birth. How can this be? I will not stand for this disintegration of imperial order. Now turn away from the college this instant and return to the humble trades of your ancestors. Ply your fields, mend your boots, and work and suffer by your lot. If any of you dares to set foot upon these stairs, you'll be killed at once. Yo, I'm up for a lesser death. Let's fucking go. The students-to-be meet this speech with a stunned silence. The crowd in the square is growing, however. The news of the Monian noble militia and the college's closing spreads through the streets like wildfire. More humans join the crowd. College students, commoners, officials who worked hard to be a noble. Unrest grows around you. You hear people calling to rush Archduke Monroe's forces to take control of the college and defend your right to become a noble. The Emperor himself gave us this right. We have to fight for it. The revolution is going to start early. This is a decisive moment for all of you. The old gentry has challenged you. Will you accept this challenge? In the face of the shameful, illegal act by the Archduke's forces, you may prove that all of you deserve the noble lot. You will need to break through the cordon, get inside the college, and take control of it. The nobles will never dare hurt you if your presence is strong enough. If If you are ready to risk it all and fight for your right to the nobility, you will have to lead the charge. People keep coming to the square in the meantime, including students and teachers from the Divine Seminary. The lot of the clergy is to guide others to the right path. When estates clash, the priests are bound to intervene. The seminary teachers instruct their students to form a line between the noble militia and the outraged crowd. The priests begin telling the warrior nobles and the riotous commoners to return to the preordained divine order, lest they provoke the wrath of the gods. The wrath of the gods, as the priests utter these words. The crowd around you disappears. A vision appears before your eyes. Is it only a militia because they are voluntary or unpaid? A militia just means they're guys who are recruited from they're just dudes who got called on to serve. And they've been nominally trained usually. A militia doesn't have any specific technical, well, it kind of does. It depends on the setting. In this fictional context, militia could mean whatever they want, really. I just interpret it to mean that they are a militia of dudes who have been trained and to be on standby in case they ever get called on to serve. So I don't take that to be an implication of whether or not they're voluntary or unpaid. It's not clear if these are all nobles. I think it would be weird if they're all Archneans, because I thought Archneans would be kind of rare. That was my assumption. Maybe not, but I would assume that these are all humans obeying their lord. Because they dumb. They big dumb. The empire is ablaze. You see burning land steeped with pain and despair everywhere you look. Rivers overflowing to extinguish the burning world. You can tell that soil scorched by such fire will never bear fruit again. Hey, Fritz, hope you're having a good night. Oh, Hayes. The gods' given vision demands to be heard, demands to be prophesied to the world. But only a priest may speak to the twins and for the twins. Will you keep it inside, or will you step onto the path the twins have revealed to you? Somebody shoves you in the back, and you snap out of the vision. You turn around to see a small but decisive troop of commoners moving quickly through the crowd. They're led by a witch. As soon as she sees you, she signals them to stop. So you're here too. Going to risk the college, are you? Can't you see it already? The laws cannot be trusted. They give you the right to study here just to throw you a bone. When the going gets tough, your masters will take it away. God, I do not like Sophia. It's time for you to decide. We are the Lotless. Oh, thank God we didn't go Lotless. If she's in charge of the Lotless, thank God we are not in the secret society. Holy shit, we dodged a bullet. We dodged a big bullet. Oh, thank God. We almost got saddled with Sophia. Man. If Sophia's in charge of the revolution, man, I'm a loyalist. Fuck that. Are you coming with us? Or are you going to submit to them? She could be your love interest. I don't want her. You can have her. There are students and professors locked inside the college. Who knows how long Monroe will maintain this siege? And what if they start slaughtering people? Neither group of nobles will care what happens to them. We're going to go inside and pull them out. Come with us if you're ready to take control of your own destiny. The tension in this room is palpable, and the situation is about to implode. Students, commoners, nobles of the mantle, followers of the new faith, all of them are gathering their forces to move on the wall of soldiers. They expect the nobles to let them through en masse. Surely they won't start a massacre. The Lotless, led by Sophia, prepare to break through the siege to rescue the people in the college. And all the while, the priests preach peace to both sides of the conflict. I didn't start the romance. I don't want this romance. I just wanted the stat points and the lesser death because it was funny. Look, there's still time. There's still room to tend to make her negative. My relation with her is, I already lost 1 point with her. See, we're almost at the break point of making her not like us. Thank God. The college is your only way into the nobility. Only if you fight for your lot and fulfill your duty to your family. You could organize an offensive strong enough to get into the college and thus seize your lawful right like a true nobleman. Yet, the revelation about the wrath of the gods still pulses in your mind. Once revealed, this vision will take you on a different path. Standing with the priests and preaching what you have just seen, warning all of the dire danger on the path of the warring estates, bringing the twins' word to the people and guiding them to salvation. Could this be your new lot? Sophia and the Lotless, they expect you to join their struggle. They're waiting for you to cast off the old ways and the eternal yoke of subservience. If you choose this path, you will not change your lot, and your suffering will continue. But your suffering might just change this world. It's not inevitable. I can get her killed. It's not inevitable. This is the moment. Future life will be decided here and now. Oh! The Lotless are the default choice? God, they just keep getting worse and worse, don't they? Man! Preach about the revelation. We don't have... Oh, we do. One of these, I see. So they're throwing a bone to those of us who had one perception, aren't they? It's the vision from the false gods. So I kind of want it to happen to prove that the gods are false. I'm heavily leaning towards Path of the Nobleman because frankly, fuck the Lotless if they're in any way associated with Sophia. I kind of like the theology aspect of this game, but I think that's definitely another run for me. Not this current character of mine. Yeah, we're going Nobleman. Yeah, the Lotless are the pity choice. You get to work. Recalling the books on military tactics you used to study as a boy, you call out to the students and children nobles around you and assume command. They hear you, and they listen. You stand together in close formation and march towards the weakest link in the line of nobles. More people joining you along the way. A veritable phalanx of young men, armed with nothing but determination against the noblemen's swords. The noble militia readies their steel. The Arcanian officer in command of this section halts you and orders you to turn back. You step forward and give him your reply. These people are here to study at the college the Emperor himself has decreed. You have every right to fulfill the imperial law, and any nobles who dare intervene will be defying Uther, Tempest II himself. Uther. She's their leader? Oh my god. The revolution sucks. Man. Your plan works. The officer hesitates when confronted with your words and your vigor. The noble militia is no longer ready to use their swords. This is your chance. You command your forces to focus their advantage in numbers for a singular push, and the militia line breaks. You reach the college gates. More people start running for the breach. The nobles get their bearings quickly enough to restore the line, but your phalanx is already inside. I'm not sure. Phalanx has a very specific meaning. I don't think phalanx means what they think it means. You waste no time and begin barricading the gates. The students who are stuck inside the college run toward you. You quickly tell them your plan. Block all the doors and windows with whatever comes to hand before Monroe's forces can get in. If they do get in, only the twins know what they will do. One by one, all the entrances are swiftly barricaded. The riot outside the college has calmed for a moment, it seems. Through an open window, you hear Monroe giving orders to his militia. the Archduke is forming a strong perimeter outside the college, ready for a proper siege. Students and professors of the college go to the balcony to negotiate. You are among them. Surrender and leave this building. I am not here to kill or execute you. No loyal subjects will die by my hand. The humans boo and jeer at Monroe's proposal. The dean himself appears on the balcony. The imperial family established the college, he claims, and he cannot defy orders given by the great Archnean Tempest dynasty. What are we trying to accomplish? I hadn't thought that far, honestly. A lesser death because it's funny? And so the college remains besieged. The noble militia stands in a circle around the building, but there are no preparations for an assault. The outrage in the square continues. You remain in control of the college for the entire day and the following night. But at sunrise, the Emperor's herald arrives in the square. He brings news. The Emperor is delighted to see Archduke Monroe in the capital, yet he demands that the noble militia of Monia vacate the square and allow classes to begin at the college. The besieged college celebrates the news. This is the work of Cornelius Tempest, great chancellor, the Emperor's brother who doesn't want to lose his head to a guillotine. We're proving that we can take the college exam by breaking into the college. I think that's the plan. He managed to convince the Emperor to order Monroe to withdraw. Even the Archduke of Monia, the most powerful noble lord in all the Empire, cannot disobey a direct order from the Emperor. Still, the college would never have held out for an entire day without your phalanx's determination and your daring plan. I mean, I'm sure it could have held out. That no one really tried to get in besides us. You, the people of the common estate, have secured your right to study and earn the noble lot. The college is open again, and the entrance exam will take place in a few days. I'm sure it would have been resolved in the exact same way. Whatever, if we went the clergy path. I don't know about the other one. The lotless. The Sophia path. Man, fuck that. You weren't nervous at all this time. All the lessons at home, the books, the schooling, your own noble actions, all that work and effort has finally reached its culmination. The procedure for appointing a provincial overseer, the 5 great Archnean dynasties, the property rights of all estates, you answer all these questions with ease. Hours pass. The dean of the college reads the names of the new students to the young men gathered at the college steps. Your name is among the first. He praises what you did in defense of the college. People like you are the Empire's future, Sir Brante. Oh, he called us sir. Yo, Stefan's gonna give us mad props for this too. Sunlight fills the college square. It feels so soft and soothing here in Deterna, not as harsh as it gets in Anizote. You watch the pillar shine in the sky as you walk down the steps of the college. You are Brante, the 3rd judge in the family, the man who will soon join the family's noble blood tide. You have seized your right to achieve the nobleman's lot. Yeah, Sophia, she rolled in like a big bad bitch, and I was all not about that. Whatever Sophie is doing, I'm doing the opposite. I don't like her. You should write to your father now. He will be so proud of us. We went to school instead of simping for the witch. He's so proud. Yay. Well, I don't really want to be a judge, but I'll take the sword. Thanks. Oh! If we get to be a judge, we get to judge a witch. And hopefully that witch will be named Sophie. Also, yeah, the last interaction had her almost demand that I help her, which one does not simply demand I do something. That's not how my brain works. You return to the lodging house one last time to gather your belongings for the move to your new home. A young man dressed in the uniform of the military academy greets you by the door. It takes you a moment to recognize Thomas. Your friend locks you in an embrace. Yeah, that's cool. I like his piece of flair. That's neat. Tommy! Brante, hey, how are you? I heard about the nasty stuff that went down in the college square. Those damn gentry would do anything to keep lowborn folks under their thumb. Glad the situation resolved itself. As for me, I'm an academy cadet now. Space cadet? Ah? He is beaming with pride. You invite him in the chat while you pack. Tommy continues to relay the news as you walk up the stairs. I made it into the top 10, can you imagine? Did pretty well in sparring and the sciences. It was all thanks to the help he gave me back in the school in Anazote. I'll be studying the art of war now, and it's a quick march to a noble title. How about you? I kind of want to go to the military academy with Tommy. I don't want to be a judge. Let's do the military academy. You tell Tommy about what happened over the past 3 days and of the path you have chosen. He remains quiet as you speak. Both of you realize they may never see each other again. You know, Brante, here's what I think. You may have your own path in life, but you're my friend. We've got to make sure our friendship lasts forever, no matter what happens to us. Is he giving us a bestie ring? He's giving us a bestie ring. Here, I brought the 2 brass rings. If the old tradition is to be believed, both the rings and the wearers will always remain close to each other, no matter where fate takes them. What do you say? All right, I'll take the bestie ring. Okay, you dork. The 2 of you grew up side by side. Tommy, the audacious, hot-blooded, sharp-tongued boy who used to live next door. You can't imagine your childhood without him. But wouldn't it be right to promise him that your friendship will last forever, no matter what happens? I've always craved violence. Yes, this is true. From the day I was born, I smiled at the shadow craving violence. Wait, hold on. I just realized that Tommy he's enacting a Starship Troopers moment. The 2 rings made of plain brass lie in his open palm. If you wear these rings, you'll be bound by ties of friendship your entire life. End the friendship. So you... Conditions not mid, not path of nobleman? I'm confused. I don't want to do this, but I'm just confused. I guess this means that we can't do this because we're on the path of nobleman? It's phrased weirdly. Keep things as they are, not what we want to do, because we don't need 5 willpower. We good. Take the ring. You take the ring, 2 of you have been friends for a long time. It seems unthinkable that your friendship could ever end. I'm really confused by this. Because we have this unlocked because we have the Path of the Nobleman. But we can't take... What's the difference between these? I'm really confused. Oh! Wait, is this the option in case you don't have the Nobleman path? I guess? I'm confused. This is a weird one. It makes sense to whoever programmed it, but not to me. You take one of the rings from his outstretched palm. The 2 of you have walked side by side ever since you were children. Even now, you're walking in the same direction toward a noble title. You as a judge and Tommy as a warrior. Nothing will ever tarnish your bond. You swore an oath of eternal friendship to Tommy. Our pinky ring is noble. I don't know what you're talking about. We got a pinky ring. We got a bestie ring. Tommy solemnly swears the same. You put the brass rings on your pinky. A perfect fit. Tommy follows suit, and he starts beaming again. We got the bestie rings. We got the pimp rings. Now we're friends forever. BFFs. For all eternity. We gotta celebrate this. Come, come, I know a place. I gotta show you. Tastiest meat I've ever tried, Brante. My treat. I crave violence. I want to go to the military academy with Tommy. I don't want to be a judge. I don't want to be a judge. I crave violence. Give me the sword. The two of you go to a noble salon by the square of Emperor Severin, surrounded by tobacco-smoking mead bottles. You wag your tongues, recall the days of your adolescence, and make plans for the future. Nobody knows what could be waiting for you, but you promise you'll never lose sight of each other. Yay! We got our bestie on side. Yay! Oh yeah, that was an either-or. Okay, I get it. That makes sense now. Oh, a letter from home. As soon as you're accepted into the Imperial College, you send a letter back home. The family replies quickly. As quickly as months of travel time can take, because that's how long it takes us to get here. Their letter arrives in under a week, mysteriously. Not sure how that works. By boat? Most of it is covered with your father's handwriting. I am proud of you, my son, and I believe your grandfather takes pride in you too. You have brought your family one step closer to being ennobled by the sword. You will make an excellent judge. I have complete faith in your intellect and your will. You shall bring glory to our family. You know what? I bet if good old dad went to the crypt and told our ghost bastard grandfather about this, even granddad, who caved her skull in with his cane, wouldn't be able to cast shade at what we did to get into college. Stefan's congratulations follow your father's. Wait, is Stefan not at college? Birds? I guess there's messenger birds, I don't know. Congratulations, brother. The simple folk could only dream of what you have already achieved. You can thank father and grandfather for this opportunity, but it was you who proved yourself worthy. Once you receive your new lot, you and I will be equals at last. Yeah, Stefan is on side. I guess he already graduated from college? I thought he was still here studying. Then some words of praise from mother and me. You have brought your father much joy and made him proud, and I am witness to this. You now walk this path all thanks to him. Yet it saddens me that you did not consider the divine seminary, where you could have dedicated your life as a simp to the false gods. Fuck off. Nate! You worked so hard for this. We held a big feast in your honor back home. Hope you achieved all you ever wanted. Thanks. And at the very end, there's a small note from your sister. Congratulations, good luck. I don't think she's happy that we burned Sophie. But I am happy. We maxed out dad points. Yay! Yay! Bro points! I don't care about Gloria. I don't care. The priesthood has miracles. I guess that's cool. But they don't get a sword. They get a whip. I don't want a whip. I want a sword. It's only a few days since you became a student at the college. Your education has barely begun when an amazing piece of news surprises all the students. Every year, Cornelius Tempest, the great chancellor and the emperor's younger brother, grants an honor to all future nobles of the mantle and invites them to masquerade at his summer palace. The professors and lecturers instruct you to look and act your best in order to preserve the college's honor. They tell you more about the ball, too. All who attend it from the college must prove themselves with words or deeds to the members of the great Arachnean dynasties that will be present there. This means the reputation of your home province will be at stake, too. Wait. A masquerade? But if it's a masquerade, how are they gonna maybe wear masks representing what province we're from? But if it's a masquerade, then you're not really... You're wearing a mask to disguise yourself usually at a masquerade, right? It's time to get ready. You order a proper suit for the occasion and a mask, yeah, see, a mask, to go with it. It looks simple, but by no means plain, and only hides your eyes. Handsome. We got a handsome mask. The day comes. You spend an entire morning preparing for the ball. Your fellow students give you hints about how to attach the cuffs, keep the collar straight, and make sure your hair remains coiffed for the entire night. Coiffed. I've never heard of that for hair before. I've only heard coif for like a chain coif thing, like a piece of armor. Does that just mean slicked back? Like you slick back your hair? I don't know. Soon, the carriages start flocking to Cornelius Tempest's summer palace. The tall, ornate outer fence surrounds a sprawling garden in full bloom. The marble-paved driveway is so wide, it can accommodate 2 rows of carriages. Two columns of carriages. Because rows are... well... Two rows mean that you have every carriage... Wait... If it's as many carriages as they're saying, 2 rows of carriages would mean it's like a mile-wide road. Because it would stretch really wide. They clearly mean 2 columns of carriages because it's 2 lines going down the road, right? What? It's always the little things that make me stop. You and your fellow students walk up the massive stairs to the front of the palace. You seem tiny and incongruous against the background of the scenic grandeur. The Master of Ceremonies instructs all newcomers to seek their province's coats of arms. You see the banner of Magra from far away, depicting the silver tree of the false gods digging its roots into the murky, gray soil. Below it is a banner bearing the coat of arms of the Milanitis dynasty. I forget if that girl we kind of met in passing that one time was from them. It turns out students from the college were not the only ones invited to this party. You see academy cadets lined up beneath the banners too, and Tommy, our bro, is among them. A wide grin appears on his face when he sees you go under the banner of Magra. I just knew you'd be here today, pal. What can I say? Congratulations, student. As for me, I'm not so bad off myself. The military academy is father and mother sent. The military academy is father and mother to me now. Oh, okay. I misread that at first. Got it. I mean, I thought your parents were cool, but go off. Oh, no, they weren't, because they wanted to flog his ass. That's right. His merry speech is interrupted by a tall, proud Arcanian in a heavy coat. You recognize him. He is Dorius Otten, Sophia's former master. Oh, we don't like him. He's an asshole. Make way for your commander, soldiery. The last time you saw Otten, he was searching the back streets of Anizote by your house for a girl servant. But now the young Arcanian's uniform betrays his high standing. He is young, yet he is already the province's commander. Who put him in charge of all the military forces of Magra at such an age? His dad, probably. What's wrong? You know him or something? Not really. He's just a dick. But there's a mill of them here, so whatever. A brief description of Otten is enough to wipe the smile off his face. You see no other high-ranking officials bearing the colors of Magra at this party. It seems Dorius Otten would be the main representative of your province tonight. You watch the other college students and academy cadets line up under the provincial banners. The blue and silver banner of Arcania, the Emperor's own province, is in the very center of the hall. Judging by the hilts jutting out from beneath their belts, many of those who surround that banner are nobles of the sword. Tommy is clearly jealous. So am I. I want a sword. Give me a sword! I want to switch schools. I want to go to the military academy. The group from Arcania stands proudly, ennobled by its iconic and dignified history. The Arcanian race and the Empire originated in their very lands. A sizable group of students stand under the banner of Monia, a wealthy agricultural province signified by yellow grains on a field of ore. I forget what color ore is. The wealth of the young men beneath this banner is plain to see. Their attire is on par with the Arcanians in terms of luxury, and perhaps even more vibrant in terms of color. The most numerous group at the party stands under the banner of Illyria, a yellow griffin against a field of azure. All of the Illyrians are clothed in well-tailored suits with a minimum of decoration. Some of them wear gloves. Most of them come from wealthy industrial families. It seems many of them would feel more at ease in their families' factories than at a noble party like this one. 3 banners represent the northern provinces of Fiona, Hermia, and Constanta. These banners, like the groups associated with them, stand together. The royal Tempest dynasty oversees all 3 of them. The students and cadets are clearly well off, yet they are dressed in modest, functional garments to honor the austere traditions of the North. And finally, the smallest of the groups is represented by an open book against a field of argent. Estynia, homeland of the Diamant dynasty. By the order of Patriarch Junius Diamant, the open book of the new faith has been added to the banner only recently. Wonder what it was before then. Nearly all the young men beneath this banner are clothed in academy uniforms. There wear no ornaments, no adornments, but are clad impeccably with nary a button undone, the embodiment of rigor and restraint. Interesting that they're all military academy guys. No judges on them. The master of ceremonies signals the beginning of the party. It is time for the dancing. The first dance is a minuet, and tradition calls for everyone to dance. Harpsichord. I think a harpsichord is an old-timey piano, medieval piano, I think. Harpsichord music fills the hall. The Academy cadets waste no time finding dance partners, and soon already make the fluid steps of the minuet. You take a look around. One of the young ladies represented Magra catches your eyes. She is slender, like all Arcanians, and clothed in a yellow dress embroidered with emerald green. Her face hidden behind a full mask, decorated with bright green feathers. Fancy. What happens next seems unbelievable. The enigmatic lady walks towards you. The way she looks at you, the way she walks. The black eyes from behind the mask watch you closely. She tilts her head. There are no words, but you feel there is a question. Everyone in the hall is startled by a sudden noise. You look behind you and see Thomas getting up off the floor, his face a grimace of rage. Dorius Otten stands before him, eyeing him with disgust. His arm rests on the hilt of his sword. Oh boy. Who allowed this clumsy commoner inside the great Chancellor's palace? Its noble masters are trying to dance, and it's getting underfoot. Thomas looks like he's about to explode in Otten's face, but the snug Arcanian sword is clearly a threat. If your friend's rage gets the better of him, he will end up in trouble. The enigmatic Arcanian beauty, however, quickly loses all interest in their quarrel. She comes even closer to you, expecting you to invite her to dance. Oh, we are a tried and true lightning rod. Resolve the quarrel? Ooh, manipulation. We could use some more manipulation. Ooh, eloquence. I'll put us on a break point. You approach Otten and apologize courteously for Tommy's gaffe. That doesn't give us a bro point, but it makes Otten not hate us. But I don't really care about Otten not hating us, because I don't like Otten. Lightning rod, lightning rod, lightning rod. You help Tommy to his feet and hurl some well-chosen words of mockery in Otten's face. Ooh, a Tommy point plus eloquence. Or we dance. And she remembers us. Great. Huh? Really? That's it? She remembers us? The fuck do I care about that? Yo. Gondor calls for aid and Rohan will answer. You stand between Tommy and Otten before they can clash. The Arachnean eyes you with scorn. You help your friend to his feet, then stand against Otten and look him straight in the eye. A moment later, you follow your stare with a mocking question. Is something amiss? Is the Arachnean master so unsure of his nobility that you must assert it before every commoner he sees? Perhaps he considers such to be his lot. The dance is interrupted. There are ladies as whispers in the hall. The eyes watching you. Some judge you, while others grin at the Arachnean. What will the High Commander do now? Slowly, Otten looks around, confused for a moment, and he gets a hold of himself and flashes you a grisly grin. No, human. I will not grace you with the suffering that is your due. You did well to invoke the lots. Now consider your own. Remember this day, the day when Sir Dorius Otten showed you mercy. Square up, bitch. I heard he died twice, and both of them was before I was 10 years old. Get on my level. Having said this, the Arachnean walks away to the banner of Magra. Tommy wastes no time dragging you to the opposite end of the hall. By the twins, he looks savage. Seems your words hit home. The Arachnean pig couldn't even think of a proper rejoinder. You're a real friend, thanks, bro. Bro, you just gave me a pinky ring of BFF-ship. I can't disrespect that. You called for aid. I gotta be there for my boy. Yeah, max Tommy points. You smile at his praise, then gladly and firmly shake your friend's hands, you son of a bitch. Out of the corner of your eye, you catch the mysterious masked Arachnean lady, all beauty and grace, dancing with Otten. You could have been in his place had you so chosen that. Oh, whatever. Who cares? Bros before hoes. I don't care. Ooh. Oh, we were already at the break point. Well, now we're closer to Silver Tongue. Okay, fine. I'll take it. The judge of the bro hand. It is now the year 1136. The trial of the 50. You have lived another year in the capital. I think this is our second year. Eterna has been shaken by what is now known as the trial of the 50. 50 people stand trial at once, all prominent members of several political circles. They are accused of treason and conspiracy against the crown. The accused spoke in favor of reducing the power of nobles and granting more rights to the common estate. There is no mention of rebellion, yet those words alone were enough to indict them. Every session of the trial is open to the public. It is a show of power made to discourage people from forming such circles ever again. You attend one of these sessions. The 50 face their verdict, forced labor in the mines of Magra and Illyria for regular members, and true death for their leaders, 6 men and 1 woman. Their public execution takes place in the central square of Eterna. You remember the woman. Her name was Annie Siren. She made a speech before her execution. A young woman, not too tall, her face almost plain with long bangs over her eyes. She looks calm, even at this moment. You cannot believe she's about to leave this world forever. Annie Siren takes a look around before she speaks. Her voice is quiet, but you are close enough to hear every single word. She says she is happy to give her lives fighting for the rights of the people. Her cause will never die, Annie claims. Others, like her, will continue their work in hiding, for their cause is right and just. They gotta stop all this martyring. They keep martyring people, man. I don't think they've learned their lesson from the last one. She is dragged away to the others. They put a sack over her head and tighten a noose around her neck. A hand yanks on the lever, and the 7 dangle in the air. Their feet tremble at first, then grow still. There are gasps and cries of discontent in the crowd. I don't think that would increase order. I think that would make it worse. okay. I mean, they're losing power still. That was a desperate bid for some order. Sir O'Croy's lesson. Your studies at the Imperial College may have begun with a luxurious party, but soon you settle into a routine of lesson after lesson. Along with dozens of other future judges, you spend hours listening to lectures in spacious college halls with high ceilings. You study imperial law and legislation, analyzing every technicality and interpretation. The subjects only get tougher, and the instructors grow ever more demanding as your studies continue. Yet law is not the only thing you study. There are other disciplines as well, such as rhetoric and orthography. Well, a true judge must have a perfect command of both the spoken and written word. Oh yeah, that makes sense. Washing dark blue ink off your fingers becomes an indelible part of your daily routine. Of all your classes, you find the fencing lessons particularly exciting. Every lesson covers your body with more cuts and bruises and makes your muscles ache from exertion, but your childhood dream is worth it. Yeah, Dad's fencing lessons are paying off. Then, finally, there comes a short break in your studies, a handful of days for rest and recreation. You meet Tommy to discuss how you're going to spend this time. You're coming with me tonight. No excuses, Brante. We'll be paying a visit to our mentor, Baron O'Croy. It's time you learned a thing or two about how we do things in the military. Bro, I wish I was there with you, bro. I don't want to be a judge. I crave violence, bro. Your friend looks very cunning and pleased with himself when he says this. With a sigh, you change out of your college uniform and into your best clothes and follow him. Tommy rushes you to a 2-story house somewhere in the noble neighborhood in the capital. Its windows are open, and you can hear people talking over each other. The house's sitting room is filled with young people. A dwarf. That's a dwarf. That's not a man, that's a dwarf. At least 24 men. 24 minus 1 plus 1 dwarf. All of them academy cadets. In the middle of the sitting room is an armchair, and in this armchair is a gentleman wearing the uniform of an Imperial Legion officer and smoking a pipe. His thick hair falls over his large, observant eyes. Baron O'Croy welcomes the two of you with a slight nod and continues his speech while everyone listens respectfully. Gunther is a bit of a dwarf. Gunther. As I was saying, young men, I firmly believe that the days when all the military glory of the Empire belonged to the Arcanian dynasties are long gone. Human nobles have been serving the Emperor at least as well as the Arcanian nobles for some time now. Still, the Arcanians keep acting like their origins are more important than honor and service to the crown. Take the Milanitis dynasty, for example. The Archdukes of Magra long ago, their leader, Char Milanitis, the colony dropper himself, fomented a rebellion against the rule of the Tempest and the twins' faith. He sucked all life from his own land, doomed thousands of his own subjects, and yet the Milanitis dynasty still rules over Magra like nothing ever happened. Then suddenly, Sir O'Croy flashes a cunning grin. I think this calls for a test of your strategic thinking, young men. But first, let me refresh your memories on the rebellion of Char the Colony Dropper. It may seem surprising that we have him to thank for our current status. He was the first to ennoble humans, an act of unprecedented insolence, but it gave the rebellious Duke immense support in his province. He risked his own reputation and title to make himself stronger thanks to humans, and in that, he succeeded. I like Gunther. Gunther is sounding pretty based. No one had ever dared challenge the rule of the Arcanians and Tempest before, but the rebellion of Magra changed everything. Humans became part of the nobility. We got a taste of the power only the Arcanians could wield before. And unless I'm mistaken, most nobles in the Empire these days are human. Why, we outnumber the members of the Arcanian dynasties dozens of times over. I think Gunther is talking also mad shit. I don't think he's long for this world, honestly. So, Char Milonitis had complete rule and control over the lands of Magra. He had the loyalty of his ennobled human subjects, and he had the loyalty of the mages and witches who fled to Anazote, the only place in the empire where they could hide from the church. The Archduke of Magra had everything he needed to win, and yet 2 pivotal changes brought him down. First of all, he cast a magic spell that incinerated the entire province. It certainly stopped the Imperial Legion in their tracks, but the population of Magra would no longer side with Char Milonitis after that. That does sound like a rookie mistake. That's weird. Second, the clergy struck at the rebellious Duke with the power of the twins. His magic was gone, and his main advantage was no more. Many fled, but as you know, it still took the Empire an entire month of siege before the palace in Anazote was taken. That's a pretty short, sweet siege. That's lightning fast as far as sieges go. Like, not even a year? That is a short, sweet... that is a fast siege. After the rebellion of Magra, the Empire changed drastically. And most importantly, humans finally received their lawful right to be ennobled. And I like to stress that in particular, ennobled not by birth, but by virtue of their own knowledge and talent. History, young men, is more than just a memory of the past. It is also a lesson for our future. I believe that part of our history proves my point. And now, a test. Tell me, if you were among the Imperial strategists during the rebellion, what would you have done? How would you have fought an enemy as powerful as Char Milonitis? With this, Sir O'Croy leans back in his armchair and takes a pull from his pipe while the cadets start discussing. Some take no time to say they cannot believe Sir O'Croy thinks humans were first ennobled by serving the rebellious Duke. Others say the prolonged palace siege might have been a mistake. Prolonged? A month-long siege? That is impressively fast. Others, especially for like such a big deal target like that doesn't sound like some piddly little castle. Others say the prolonged palace siege might have been a mistake, and storming the palace would have been a better choice. Soon, ideas start flying. Some cause only laughter, while others lead to debate. They are discussing the past of Anazote, the past of your hometown. You cannot possibly stay silent right now. If you were in command of the Imperial Legions back then, what would you have done? Based on what you know about the rebellion of Magra, you see 3 potential strategies. The first involves calling upon the twins' miracles to rob Milonitis of magic and render him powerless. The second entails putting your faith into discipline and the valor of the army for a frontal assault. The third means drawing out the siege while making the enemy's life as hard as possible through cunning. Which would we have chosen? Not the twins, because they're false gods. Yeah, like, no. No, thank you. No. Press for a decisive assault. Relying on the strength and valor of the Imperial Legions would have been the best choice. Ooh, give us another eloquence. I like eloquence. Ooh, eloquence or scheming. I like scheming more than elegance, I think. You would have starved the city into submission and seized it by cunning. Ooh. There's more glory, arguably, in the decisive assault, but also more casualties. Although, the elegance or scheming. I'm gonna go with lay siege, because I mean, a month is already lightning fast. Like, what are we gonna do, add another month? Like, what are we talking here? May as well go for scheming. I like scheming. You decided it is time for you to answer Sir Elcroy. The proper way to bring down the castle of Anazote would have been through a prolonged siege, you say. The lands of Magra could no longer feed the warriors of Char Milonitis at that stage of the rebellion, and when their supplies eventually ran out, they would have opened the gate from the inside. Sir O'Croy looks at you, studying you attentively. Who is this judge in a house full of military dudes? I agree with what you're saying, young Brante, in a sense. Had the Imperial forces done that, they would have lost fewer men and kept the palace of Anazote intact. Yet, you are missing my other point here. Melanidas' army would have continued fighting, even emaciated by the siege, even with their numbers dwindling. True, some did flee, but those who stayed to defend the city and the castle, even after the Imperial forces broke in, remained loyal to their lord until the very end. Oh, yeah, that's true. True. Long ago, only Archneans had the right to wield weapons and wage war, but now humans can prove their merit and earn the same right. Humans like ourselves. And the present empire has grown even stronger thanks to its new warriors and functionaries. These days, humans can judge and rule and create. The terrors wrought by the rebellious Duke are undeniable, yet his rebellion created new possibilities for us all. Yeah, Gunter O'Croy is pretty based. I like him. And this, young men, is the moral of the story. Char Melanidas was defeated, but not by the clergy and their prayers, and not even by the noble militias assembled by the other archdukes. He was vanquished by imperial legions, a unified army with clear regulations and ranks, and a clear chain of command. An army that is strong in discipline and loyal to the emperor. His eyes finally move away from you and back to the rest of the men in the hall, but nobody else dares to argue with the battle-hardened officer. The evening continues. Sir Elcroy shares some of his war stories, each more astounding than the last. For the rest of the night, you are out of the Baron's center of attention, and so you join Tommy and the other cadets in sipping wine and enjoying his tales. Yeah. We are valor maxing. We gotta get that violence. He returned to the college long after midnight. You often recall Baron O'Croy's story about the rebellion of Char the Colony Dropper after that. The rebellious Duke lost the war, and yet he brought about drastic changes for the humans and the entire empire. Okay, I'm picking up what they're putting down. We gotta make a sacrifice to get some changes in. Okay. Ooh, more letters. There are days when you receive letters from home. Father's writing is very reserved. He mostly discusses events and work in Magra, and writes very little about the family. That doesn't sound good. It makes me proud that you have managed to teach Stefan how to handle our affairs at home. Your older brother behaves impeccably at the society balls and receptions that we host. He has already made several crucial acquaintances. Man, Dad is absolutely shitting all over our older brother here. Stefan had to get taught by us. We barely even interacted with Stefan, but we just leveled him up. But Gloria has a different opinion of Stefan. She thinks her older brother is taking more and more after grandfather. That's problematic. Stefan is a lot like grandfather. It's in his manners, his posture, his voice. He even dresses just like him. He used to be aloof around me, and we barely talked in the past, but now he always blames me and tears me apart. I can't take it anymore. He walks all over me all the time and treats me like a housemaid. Mother writes to you. From her letters, you learn that Nathan just barely managed to graduate from school. Nate's a little bit underachieving. It's 3:20. It's fine. I don't have work tomorrow. It's fine. We can go a little bit longer. I want more Brante. This game is too good. It makes me sad to admit that Nathan has none of the talents you have. Wow. We know Mom doesn't love her other son because Nate got shaken a little bit too much as a baby. But, well, that's a little... She's going for the jugular on Nate. The other day, he told me he won't even try to study in the capital. He says he won't be able to pass the exams. I find solace only the nights Nathan and I spend together reading the scriptures and our walks to the church by the silver tree. He accompanies me every time. Your sister and your younger brother write about Mother too, and they say the same thing about her health. Oh, she now spends more time locked away in her chambers to brood. Gloria does her best to accompany Mother when she leaves home, and Nathan's letters mention her steps echoing in the halls in the middle of the night. That's not good. What's up with that? Does mom have a little bit of dementia? What's going on? There's one more thing Nate mentions in the letters. Stefan and Gloria have been fighting very often these days. Stefan always tries to get under Gloria's skin, and she answers him in kind. Then Stefan calls her a lowly commoner to make her shut up. You always tremble in excitement each time you see a new letter with the seal of your home province. Your fate is still bound tightly to your families, no matter the distance between you. Huh? Why did Stefan points go down? We didn't... What? But we're being a good boy. Why'd that happen? Okay. Oh! Because the grandfather's ghost. That makes sense. That tracks, actually. Okay, I get it. I don't care about you, Gloria. Shut up. I don't care about you, Nate. Shut up. I got Dad, and Dad's all I need. And Stefan. Stefan is a keeper, too. I don't care about Gloria. Nate, if I need willpower, I'll call on Nate. The first case. You will become a judge one day. Actually, hold on. Family. Where's the unity thing? House. We got some disagreements. Not too bad, though. We're almost at peace. I bet if we were at 7 points instead of 6, Stefan wouldn't be such a dick, maybe? I don't know. Look, you're probably right that it's just distance, Granton, but also I choose to blame it on grandfather. I get that right because he caved my skull in. I get to blame grandfather. Ah, we're judging. So you are sent to the Prefecture of Eterna to be mentored by a more experienced colleague. Your mentor is a judge of considerable age, a noble of the mantle with a proud bearing about him. He never misses a chance to remind you that being mentored by such an experienced man of office is a great honor. Your mentor entrusts you with his minor cases, and, to his great joy, his night shift. Another night begins. The office is growing darker. You are still there, zealously filling out the paperwork for the day. A petty theft, a verbal assault against the noble of the sword by a commoner. We did that. We did that a couple of times. A fine for the parents of children who covered an imperial institution with obscene drawings. Petty cases, all of them. There are real cases a judge has to face. And so you sit there, carefully comparing complaints, statements, and witness testimony. Granddad kills me one time and suddenly he's the bad guy. Yeah, that's literally just it. I mean, it was really funny and I kind of enjoyed the death, but it is what it is. Then the door of your office swings open. A gendarme drags in a provocatively dressed girl. Her golden hair is undone and her makeup is a fiery red. Girls like her sell their bodies in houses of ill repute. Then next to enter the office is a stout priest, his face adorned by a nose of remarkable shape and a huge wart on his cheek. You do your best to avoid starting at it. Starting at it. Sorry, I can't stop starting at your nose. The gendarme. Gendarme? The gendarme gives his report. The girl was arrested with a certain gentleman in the park by the Temple of the Twins. They were commuting acts of carnality, an affront to the faith. Oh, scandalous. The huffing and puffing priest interrupts him and starts yelling. He saw her doing magic! He did. The gentleman was enthralled by the girl. He was glowing like a lamppost. Shut up. You gesture for the priest to stay quiet and ask if the gendarme can prove this. The gendarme only shrugs. He didn't see anyone glowing. He arrested the girl for her sacrilegious conduct alone. The man in her company was noble, so the gendarme couldn't bring himself to arrest him. He does, however, remember his name. The priest is huffing and puffing even louder now. It was magic, he screams. You must refer this case to the Inquisition. This witch was loose on the streets of the Empire's illustrious capital, seducing men with her vile charms. Shut up. Shut up, man. The girl stays quiet all the while. Her eyes are emerald green, twinkling with gold as she looks at you. When she does speak, her voice is soft, like smooth velvet. Was that a draft? Do I need to close the windows? What's up here? My name is Aelis, Your Honor. All I did was obey the noble gentleman's wish. He wanted my affection right by the temple, and I dared not oppose him. I did not defy my lot, did I? Does it have to be next to the temple? Can't you find somewhere else that's not the temple? The wench looks, maybe that's the guy's kink. Maybe that's the nobleman's kink, is to do it on the temple grounds. The wench looks up and meets your gaze as she says these words. Her eyes reflect the candlelight in the dusk, sending sparks of gold dancing against the wall. The gendarme stands awkwardly by the door, sighing. The priest goes off on another rant. You tell him to be quiet, please. The day is not over yet. You must decide how to resolve this unusual case on your own. The law says a judge must investigate all circumstances related to a case. You know the name of the nobleman who was seen with this girl in the throes of passion. The gendarme was afraid to question him, but you are a future nobleman yourself, a young judge. Surely you can find a way to resolve this matter with discretion and get the information you need from the nobleman. But perhaps the suspicious lady of evening, Aelis, is at the heart of the matter. You have no doubt she will reveal her true colors if you question her. If the priest was right about her using magic, the girl's fate is sealed. Your Honor. The fuck is that? Someone close the windows. You look up from your desk and into the eyes of the beautiful Aelis, and you suddenly feel as though divine light is shining upon you. This emotion flows like a river. It lifts you up. This is more than beauty. More than passion is much more. Will you resist this call? Will you heed it? Oh, she's a witch. She's a big witch. She's def a witch. Find the nobleman! I don't want to rescue a witch. Sophia was bad enough. I don't want another witch. Find the nobleman who was allegedly in Aelis' company and question him delicately. Ooh, that would give us diplomacy. Resist! Ooh, that would give us points in two things we need points in a lot, actually. That's pretty tempting. And that only costs 5? That's kind of big. Or release her. Oh, for willpower. Ooh. I don't know, going back up to 30 willpower, that's kind of tempting, honestly, even though I don't want to deal with a witch. Something is off about this streetwalker. You have to find the truth, even if it's the last thing you do in this life. What's the breakpoints on those? 5 and 7. Naivety was 1. 10. Was it theology? Oh yeah, theology and manipulate. We want manipulation. I don't really care about theology, but manipulation, that could be really useful to get to 10. Theology, I don't really care about, but 10. We don't want what I'm desperate to avoid is another perception incident where I only have 1 point in perception and now I got my stats tanked. I think I'm gonna burn the willpower to get a point in manipulation mainly, and also to kill a witch. Okay, maybe killing the witch is a little bit more important. I don't know. You just dismiss the priest and the gendarme and begin questioning Aelis. You. Do we want to dismiss the guard when she's a witch? You are alone with the harlot now. She traces lines on her table, absent-mindedly with her finger. Her dress still reflects the candlelight, scattering it into golden specks across the walls of the office. You sense something unnatural in these sparks of gold. You have seen these sparks before, once as a youth. Recall a sunset in Azati, an abandoned house, and Sophia's deep blue eyes. You can't help but share the priest's concerns. The questioning begins. You ask Alice how she makes a living. Your Honor, my dream is to become an actress and join the Imperial Theater, but I am just a poor girl of low birth. How else am I supposed to earn my keep? Her trade is none of your concern, you explain. However, engaging in depravity next to a holy site is an affront to the twins. Alice smiles craftily, and fire flashes in her eyes. The light in her eyes beckons, promising to take you somewhere far away. You quietly pray to the younger to deliver you from this temptation for the sake of justice. An affront to the gods. On the contrary, Your Honor, I serve the twins. Their love flows within me, and I grant it up, witch. Get burned. Alice rises from her chair, incensed. She is glowing, literally. The light emanating from her is now bright enough to illuminate the entire room. This is neither my vice nor my folly, Your Honor. It was the twins' will that I be born this way. I do not control people. I do not cloud their minds. All I do with my gift is help them feel the love of our gods, which they have forgotten. Shut up, witch. And the gods themselves bless me for this. Had the twins hated magic as much as the Inquisition pretends, they would have never allowed me to be born. This is a confession. Alice is a witch. Does she not realize the fate that must await all witches? Oh, I bet there's an Inquisitor route if you go theology. That'd be cool. Yes, I was born a witch. What am I supposed to do, Your Honor? Get myself by the Inquisition or become their mindless collared puppet? Is that how I'm supposed to find my way to the peak? No, I will live I'll live my life my way. And if the twins judge me guilty in the hereafter for bringing their love to the people, then so be it. Shut up, witch. The case is closed. The girl is a witch who used her sorcery to beguile the mind. She confessed as much herself. You must send for the Inquisition now. There is no other way. Such is the law. I hope you could see it, Sir Brante. I hope you could recognize their love when it touches you. Sister, we've died twice. We've experienced their love twice now. They can get fucked and take their love with them. Stern-looking priests enter your office, accompanied by armed champions of faith. The Inquisitors examine the girl closely, study your notes, and thank you for catching a witch. The champions of faith lock a collar around Alice's neck. The golden glow in her eye is gone. Good riddance to her. 3 days later, a petty Alice is burned at the stake in the Majesty Square. Well, dumb bitch. That's what you get. Trying to enrapture me. You can't do that. I'm built different. Too good for you. You and your stupid magic. Year 1137. The Overseer of Magra. 2 major events take place where you're busy living our best life. Firstly, Cornelius Tempest is no longer the great Chancellor of the Empire. He has been ousted and sent back to his province. His replacement, is the Archduke of Monia, Aegirius Monrogue, the same Monrogue who sought to shut down the college. The most powerful lord in the realm finally convinced the Emperor that his brother Cornelius was giving too much freedom to the Loneborn. Okay, a bit of a problem. Okay, Civil War it is. Cowabunga. Too bad we can't join the Champions of the Faith. That would be a cool route. Now the policies of the Empire will be reversed. Many fear that the new Great Chancellor will destroy the Imperial Code of Laws and other achievements of Cornelius. There are cautious rumors amongst the people. They say the new Great Chancellor is going to revoke the right of the common lot to be ennobled by the mantle. Secondly, Magra, your homeland, has a new overseer. Gaius Tempest, the other brother of Emperor Uther II. Usually, the overseer of a province is its archduke. After all, it makes sense for the province's most powerful noble to impart the emperor's will to the locals. Yet now, this age-old tradition has been broken, and to no one's surprise, Archduke Tarquinius Melanidas. Tarquin. They actually named it after Star Wars. That's kind of cool. I actually really like that Melanidas is all named after sci-fi villains, like Grand Moff Tarkin from Star Wars and also Char from Gundam. That's really funny. I like that. It's possible it's all a coincidence, but I choose to believe it's not. Gaius Tempest used to be the main supporter of his brother, former Great Chancellor Cornelius Tempest. The nobles at the Emperor's court say this is a stratagem by the Archnean gentry, who want Gaius removed from court affairs along with Cornelius. Either way, Gaius Tempest and Tarquinius Melanidas will be at each other's throats over the province. This does not bode well for their future. I want to crave violence. They can't take it away from me. Only one thing is clear. Magra, your home province, is about to face great changes. Whoa. No! They got farther away from hold up. Oh, I see. I can't read negative numbers for some reason. We're farther away from the Reign of Terror. Ooh. A great feast for all. The capital is preparing for a great celebration. The coming of age of Jarian Tempest, heir to the throne. The streets are being cleaned. The low-born merchants are, by the Emperor's decree, everyone will celebrate for the next 3 days. Based. Eterna is abuzz. A festive procession starts on the streets. Students from the college and cadets from the military academy will be there to show their gratitude to the Emperor's family for entrusting them with the power they wield. Ribbons and flags flutter in the wind. The streets are scrubbed clean, and the scent and flowers fill the air. You march side by side with Tommy, carrying the banner of your province. Your friend's brown hair is unusually well combed today. He waves to every girl. You can't pronounce that word tonight. Every girl you see on the streets as he passes by. They giggle shyly, and some of them wave back. You see that, pal? Look at that beauty. She just smiled at me. This is what I call living. I just love parades. You're probably the only guy ever who has said that in the military. The Tempest royal family observes the slowly approaching parade from the balcony of the Imperial Palace. They are joined by the Emperor's highest dignitaries and provincial overseers. You see Emperor Uther II with your own eyes. There, high above, yet so close. The columns come to a halt at the balcony and salute the Emperor with the mottos of the college and the academy. You join the other college students in crying, "Learning is strength, learning is will." Dorky. The Emperor raises his hand in a gesture of benevolent greeting. His voice echoes across the square. I accept your gratitude, Is that a wheelchair? I can't tell if that's a wheelchair or just an arch. That's just an arch. Okay, he's not in a wheelchair yet. My loyal subjects, take pride as you wield your knowledge and valor in service of the Empire. All who are worthy will be ennobled by the mantle, by my grace. The future nobles around you cheer the Emperor's words, but their jubilation gives way to murmurs of discontent when Archduke Monrogue, the new Great Chancellor of the Empire, steps onto the balcony. Everyone here remembers all too well how the Archduke attempted to shut down the college by force. Still, the Archduke is the de facto leader of the Archnean gentry. He is a force to be reckoned with, even for the Emperor, and so he is the Great Chancellor now. Hail your emperor, common folk. Excuse me. Be forever obedient and grateful for the good graces you did not deserve by birth. Shut up. The Archduke does not even bother to hide his contempt for the gathering below. Booed by the crowd, he rejoins the dignitaries in the back row. You notice one of them, a slender, elegant figure under an emerald banner with a black snake. She is Octavia Melanitis, daughter to the Archduke of Magra. Oh, okay, she's from them. Got it. That's new. You notice Octavia too, huh? Archduke Melanitis sent his daughter in his stead. That's a sign of disrespect for the Emperor if I've ever seen one. Is he so enraged because he's no longer the overseer of Magra? I mean, you can imagine his surprise. It's never happened before. Fair. But then, everyone grows silent. A young, slender Arcanian dwarf with a shy smile comes forth. There are whispers in the crowd. That's Prince Geraint. Urian, heir to the throne, ward of Cornelius, promise and hope of the common estate. To the left of Urian is his brother Flavius. He is baffled at the sight of the parade below, too young to process what he is seeing. May the twins be kind to you, my future subjects. I promise to repay you in kind and help you prosper in your loyal service to the Empire. Okay, we'll see about that. Exalted by these words, the future nobles roar as one. All hail Prince Yerion. Another figure steps into view next to the heir. He is an Arcanian, elegantly dressed, and his mantle bears the Tempest colors. He raises his arms, about to make a speech. Hey look, that sky is Tempest, the Emperor's brother, the new overseer of Magra, by the by. It seems the Arcanian elders want him as far from the throne as possible, just like his other brother Cornelius. Those two have been promising too many freedoms to commoners like you and me. Oh, so this is the good guy. I like his tiger print surcoat, whatever that is. Long live Prince Yerian! Students of the college, cadets of the academy. Time and again you have proven yourself to the Emperor by word and deed. Today is a day of great celebration, and in honor of Prince Yerian, you must ask the Emperor to guarantee forever the right to the distinguished common folk to be ennobled by the mantle. So ask now. Bro is calling his Emperor out. The cadets and students freeze in hesitation. They exchange glances, unsure whether to follow the words of the Emperor's own brother. On the balcony high above, Prince Yerian also remains still, awaiting a reaction from the crowd. Archduke Monroe briskly steps into view once more. He takes several seconds to observe the crowd before he speaks. Imperial subjects! What the Emperor's brother wishes to say is that you must always remember that you owe your status to the Tempest dynasty. The Emperor accepts your gratitude and sends you off with his blessing. You may leave now. But the columns stay where they are. Get fucked, Monroe. That's not what Gaius Tempest said. Let the Emperor hear us. The law! We ask for the law! Did Tommy just yell at? Bro just yelled at? Commotion and murmurs spread over the crowd as some of the future nobles refuse to follow the Archduke's orders. There are shouts heard here and there. The law! We ask for the law. The academy officers and teachers of the college urge them to fall in line and resume the parade. But tension is rising. The crowd slowly grows enraged and unruly. You have to decide where you stand here. What's the condition for this? Oh, higher diplomacy. Interesting. So that would give us more order at the cost of power. Demand our rights. That gives us violence. We need violence points. Or bide our time. Ooh, for willpower. We are getting a little low. We're at 15. Although we have enough for now. And I kind of want the valor point. Because it's awesome. We joined the call to have our right to nobility codified. You cry out in support of Gaius Tempest's call for law. You have the right to be heard, and you have the right to ask. Your voice grows stronger. Soon others join you. The chant grows louder with every second. The law! The law. Inspired by the support of your fellow students and cadets, you move through the square and urge others to join you. If I can talk straight. Tommy walks by your side, waving his arms wildly, inciting others to shout along with you. That's our boy! Our boy got our backs! The law! The law! You, Tommy, and other vocal students and cadets gather in the very center of the square. Academy officers are trying to shout you into submission and order you back into the procession, but they are barely heard above your chant. Still, some submit and form back into the columns. But then passion chant continues, and you are at the very heart of the chanting crowd. Fuck horses. We're not afraid of horses. We got trampled to death already. We're not afraid of horses. An Imperial Guard cavalry regiment emerges from the palace. They start slowly advancing on the crowd, hands on their swords, pushing people out of the square. You have to stand your ground, so you start giving orders to defend the cobblestones beneath your feet with your fellow future nobles. You assemble into a double chain formation around the center of the square. It is strong enough to prevent the Imperial Guard from reaching the very center. The commodores go running left and right away from the horses, but the cavalry stops when it reaches your double chain. They cannot break through unless they are ordered to attack, and so they halt and wait for orders. The horses paw at the cobblestones. The cavalry swords are drawn, ready to come down crashing upon your heads. It is a standoff between the armor-clad cavalry and the unarmed students and cadets. Emperor Uther II appears on the balcony again, joined by his brother Gaius Tempest and heir to the throne, Yarian Tempest. With a gesture, the Emperor calls for attention. The square falls silent at the sight of the sovereign. My subjects, I have heard your request. There is no need to repeat it again and again. The Great Imperial Council shall review my brother's proposal. Now follow your lot and obey my will. Continue the parade and sing the praises to the ever-merciful Prince Yarian. Okay, that means, it's going in the paper shredder. These words from the Emperor are enough to quell the commotion in the square. The standoff ends and the cavalry withdraws. Oh, would you look at that, old friend? We did it! We stood up for our noble right and we won! That's the Emperor's word. You should double check what he just told us, bro. That's our courage. We got told that our complaint would go in the paper shredder. Voices from the crowd are quick to disprove. The Emperor never gave his word. He only promised to review the proposal. People begin to argue around you again. This time, however, no one wishes to disobey orders from on high, and so the students line up into columns once more. The bout of defiance is in the past now, and everyone resumes the festive parade to the city streets. Glory to Emperor Uther! Glory to Prince Yarian! Ooh, we're almost at 20. We're a dangerous enemy now. Ooh. We crave violence. We're getting so ready for violence. We're kind of stupid, but we know how to kill. Your studies at the college come easily to you. Only now do you realize the importance of all the lessons you had to endure as a child at father's expense. Month after month, you studied the judge's trade down to the smallest detail, growing more confident in your new calling with every lecture. But there is more to your education than the judge's trade and imperial law. You also learn manners and courtly etiquette, and poetry and composition. But poetry is for the clergy lot, not for the noble lot. So why are we learning poetry? And the composition thereof, that's weird. And even fencing. Fencing is a given. On some days you go with Tommy to a deserted patch of land to practice with the sword. Then finally, the day of your judge's exam comes. You send your test results to Father, and he replies with an appointment to a judge's office at the prefecture of Magra. Now, you have a new life and a new profession back home. You will return to your hometown as a judge. It is early morning at the great temple of the twins. Your heart skips a beat as you step inside the temple. It feels like that day from your childhood again. The priest is standing at the altar, and the temple is divided into two halves. But you are no longer a frightened little child anymore. You are now a grown man who is about to become a noble. But in this fiction, it's stated specifically that only the priests can do poetry. So that's contradicting it that nobles get to do poetry too. Those, I forget what they're called, but those ridges are looking pretty dull. They need to sharpen them. Get the sufferers back on their lot. The floor on the common side is there to cause pain. You feel the jagged edges even through the soles of your boots. This pain marks your final few seconds as a commoner. I'm just waiting for Monroe to show up again one last time as a fuck you. The priest stands before you. You kneel again, but now there is warm, smooth marble under your knees. You hear the words spoken above your head. From this day forth, your lot is strength and will. From this day forth, you will rule and fight and pursue the arts. Now rise, noble. You place your lips on the smooth steel of the sword. And when you rise again, you realize the trembling you felt ever since your first sacrament is now completely gone. You rise a new man, your every motion now uncannily accurate, your thoughts surprisingly fresh, and your muscles ready to face the fight. This day feels worthy of a poem. Now you can compose one if you wish. No, we can't. They forget their own lore? That's not how that works. Nobles can't do poetry. It stated specifically before. Yeah, but it said specifically before, explicitly, that nobles don't do poetry either. That's just only for clergy. You touch your back. The mark of the lash from your previous sacrament is gone. Completely erased forever. You hurry from the sacrament back to your room at the college. Your father's gift awaits you there. A sword. Your very own sword. Now to celebrate, all college students are invited to the college tournament. Then a party. The sword feels wonderful in your hand, a promise of future victories. The tourney begins. The stands are loud with anticipation. Never in your entire life have you seen so many beautiful noble ladies in one place. But there's only one who attracts everyone's attention. The raven-haired, black-eyed Octavia Melanitis, the daughter to the Archduke of Magra, has graced the tournament with a visit. She is wearing a dress of emerald green, her austere hairdo immaculate. Are we sure she hasn't just been living in the capital? She's been here, like, the entire time for the past few years. Where was I? She is surrounded by her ladies in waiting, all beauties in their own right. Look at this unit. Look at Conan the Barbarian in the stands there. When a noble enters the tournament, he must announce the name of the lady whose honor he is fighting for. Many shout the names of their loved ones in the stalls. You know how many would fight for Octavia Melanitis, but the onus of responsibility is too great. You take a few jabs of the sword, warming up for the fight. Soon, it is your turn. All eyes are on you now. The young lady Octavia hides her face behind the hand fan, yet her eyes watch you with curiosity. Ooh. Ill-disposed. Octavia does not like us anymore. Cost 5 for... Ooh, that would put us at a break point. Or Dad. Ooh, victory in the tourney. Recrave violence. Victory in the tourney. We get violence, finally. You approach the stalls and introduce yourself. Then you announce your decision. You will fight in the name of your father, Robert Brante. You earned this noble title only because he taught you well, and honor demands you dedicate your victories to him. Fuck you, hoes. I'm fighting for my dad. The stalls grow quiet. Unlike the other fighters in the arena, you are not fighting in a lady's name. Bro, we got our BFF bestie ring on her pinky, and we're fighting for our dad. The first fight begins. The rules are the same as any other noble duel. Whoever draws first blood wins. Your first opponent does not put up much of a fight. A few minutes later, he misses a jab to the thigh. Your shirt is soaked with sweat. The hilt of your sword feels slippery in your wet fingers. Still, you prevail in 3 fights in a row, then prepare to face a new opponent. You knew him well. He was mentored at the prefecture of Eterna after you. He is an unusually quick and nimble fighter. Again and again, you find yourself driven to the edge of the arena to avoid his jabs. Then, with a slashing feint, you draw your opponent's blood. Another victory. To your surprise, you are about to fight for the champion's title. You will face Jose Pelletier, the best fencer in the college, with 5 wins in this tournament alone. Wait. How many times has he failed and have to retry if he's been here 5 times? Because we're only now competing in the college tournament, and we just graduated. So bro has failed to graduate 5 years in a row, and they're letting him fight out of pity? Am I reading this right? Your skill pales before the mastery he has attained after a few months of grueling practice with the sword. He assaults you with a flurry of cuts, thrusts, and jabs. You can barely react in time to deflect them. But then, you recall a bright moment from your childhood. Your very first fencing lesson with Daddy, the first man to teach you how to dodge a lunge. This memory comes alive in your mind. You stand more confidently now. You take a few steps back to catch your breath and study your opponent. This Pelletier is good at keeping distance and following an attack with a defense. Yet his movements are too learned, too mechanical. So you try a trick. First you pretend there is an opening in your defense. You rush him suddenly, then follow your assault with a feint. The sudden, unpredictable attack catches your opponent off guard. He jumps to the side, but not before the very tip of your sword catches Pelletier on the right shoulder. He is itching to continue the fight, but a patch of red spreads across the sleeve of his shirt. Victory! Violence achieved! You stall the salute and dedicate this victory to your daddy, Robert Brante. Your fellow students pick you up and carry to the stalls as everyone chants your name. The winner's reward is the tournament ribbon, and Lady Octavia Milanitis, the tournament's guest of honor, will tie it around your sword itself. Ooh. You could say she's tying the knot with us. The crowd parts as the daughter of the Archduke of Magra walks towards you. All this time, Octavia has been watching you closely from behind her emerald hand fan. She ties the ribbon of honor around your blade. You have proven yourself admirably, Sir Brante. A worthy victory. Your father has every right to be proud. The son of a judge from Anizote. Who could have known we would meet each other here in the capital of the empire? I must say I'm amazed. I will remember your name. And we remember when we picked up your hanky from the ground in the town square and sold it for a few coins. We got violence, and we got a ribbon. Yay! The eyes of the young Archduchess follow you even as you leave the arena, victorious. You'll remember this day for the rest of your life. The day when you became a noble. That was willpower well spent. Ooh. We are 2 points away from being battle-hardened. Yes. Nice. Graduated in the year 1137. Yay. We did the thing. victory in the tournament, with fencing lessons from Daddy, when we fought for our father on the path of the nobleman. Yeah. We finally got a taste of the violence. We need more now. We have a taste. We need more. Diamant stands strong. That doesn't sound good. Just before you leave the capital, you overhear something unusual on the street. Junius Diamant, Patriarch of Astynia, excuse me, and one of the leaders of the New Faith will stand trial before a church tribunal. The Order of the Inquisition has accused Patriarch Junius of patronizing blasphemous witches and disseminating heresy. The Holy Tribunal claims that Junius Diamant was scheming to free all witches and sorcerers from the collars that fetter their accursed powers. And what's worse, the Patriarch was also accused of forming the Lotless, a dangerous secret society based in the imperial capital. Members of this society have been assaulting inquisitors and priests of the church, as well as freeing witches from the cleansing fire and helping them escape the holy law. Now, the Patriarch must face the Holy Tribunal of the Inquisition in Eterna. By all accounts, this is a devastating blow to the New Faith, and the end of the days for Junius Diamant himself. The Inquisition will make the most of this opportunity to rid the land of this unwelcome Patriarch who dared to shake the foundation of the new. Foundation of the old faith, not new faith. But then comes the sudden news of Patriarch Junius's reply to the Holy Tribunal is no less stunning than the accusation. These words are nothing but lies. I will say this to anyone who dares to bring this accusation against me in person. But I want those hypocrites to bear the full weight of their responsibility for the slander against me, my flock, the Diamant Dynasty, and the Holy Order. I agree to stand trial before the Holy Tribunal, but I will face them on my own land and on my terms. Patriarch Junius has already received strong support from Patriarch Luke and many priests across Archnia. Parishes of the New Faith throughout the Empire are now speaking out in support of Junius Diamant. The Church of the Twin Gods is about to be rent in twain. Good, because both sides of the church are false. Fuck him. The Inquisition has no choice to revoke the trial in order to avert the coming schism. Their new official stance is that the Patriarch has been wrongfully accused, and the Holy Tribunal will now apply more cautious judgment during any further trials against the followers of the New Faith. Following the teachings of Patriarch Photis is no longer seen as heresy by the Inquisition. The trial of Junius Diamant has been averted, but the divide within the church is only deepening. The New Faith has directly challenged the Old Faith. The result is uncertain, depending on who you ask. Some say Junius Diamant all but pled guilty. Others believe the Patriarch in the alleged rebellion against the church as well as the Inquisition is nothing but a ruse. There are also people who think the entire situation sounds like one of the secret chancellery's dirty deeds. One way or another, the Patriarch of Astynia and co-leader of the New Faith remains at his post. But for how long, and how will the Old Faith and New Faith clash next? With Civil War, hopefully, so we can get some violence. Yay, schism! Yay! Farewell to the capital. The Reglata and Taurina rivers meet outside the city walls. You have barely left the capital since you came here all those years ago. A breeze is blowing in your face, and the bright noon sun hangs above the shining pillar. Your stay in Eterna has come to an end. You arrived here a boy, full of hopes and aspirations, driven by your family's expectations and a desire to live your life as you saw fit. And now you have to leave, and this thought fills you with gentle sadness. Eterna did not become your home, and yet you have finally found your path. Here in the capital, you became a nobleman and a judge. Now you are one of the rulers, the warriors, the pleasure seekers, the creators, those who spilled their blood for the empire and family and honor, those who keep and honor the age-old traditions. This is our lot until we decide otherwise, because we're rebels like that. You are to work in the prefecture of your home province as judge. Your path to this goal was a long one, and your friend Tommy was by your side all the while. You fondly recall your walks to the streets of Eterna, your secret fencing lessons, your heartfelt discussions. You have no doubt your future back in Anazote will be full of glory. And then you recalled the black, enigmatic eyes of Octavia Melanitis, an Archnean from one of the great dynasties, a woman whose beauty and majesty make you tremble. You heard she would be returning to the court of her father, the Archduke in Magra. Will we see her again? Yeah, probably. If I get the chance, I'm gonna go for it with her, just to save us from Sophia. Because, good God, I want nothing to do with Sophia. You will meet Father once more. He tends to hide his feelings, but not this time. After all, you have fulfilled all his hopes, succeeded in your studies, and continued your family's noble legacy. Many things must have changed back home by now. You recall your older brother Stefan. Now that you have been ennobled, you are practically equals at last. This means you should follow an old tradition and bring Stefan a gift. And so you head for the market district of Eterna. Soon, you're busy trying out swords at a weaponsmith's shop. There's a lot to consider for this gift. Stefan is taller, and his shoulders are broader, which means his sword must be heavier and longer. There can be no embellishments. Stefan would scoff at you if you bought him an extravagant weapon. At last, you find a suitable sword, blackened steel, a subtle ornament of leaves on the blade, and a grip shaped like women vines. Women vines? Huh? Okay. It resembles the seared soil of Magra beneath the silver tree. You choose the sheath with the same diligence. There, a light wooden frame bound in thin yet sturdy leather will make the blade easy to draw, and the buckle is sturdy enough. You leave the shop satisfied. We forgot a gift for Nate. we just hard forgot about our brother Nate. You leave the capital the morning after. Eterna, the city where you spent 4 years, slowly disappears on the horizon. Will you ever see the capital again? You do not know. The sword, the gift for Stefan, is in our hands. Homecoming in the year 1138. No, still 37. 4 years in the capital. Yes, what was that other dude in the tourney doing there? Like, in the tourney for 5 years in a row? What the hell? Oh. The end of youth. The years of your youth have come to an end. The time has come to leave the capital behind and return to your family and new business in your hometown of Anazote. The years away from home were full of tumult and hardship. Your adult shoulders now bear the burden of your first life-changing decisions. Did you have the freedom to choose this lot for yourself, or was it your destiny all along ever since your childhood years? All you can do now is follow the path that lies before you. Oh. Honestly, I'm surprised that we went that way. Because our entire childhood was all about, like, fuck the police, fuck the establishment, we're gonna get the guillotines. But we ended up noble. Actually, for one very specific reason, it set us on the path to nobility, and that was Sophia. I hated her so much that I said, nah, I'm not about rebellion anymore. Now I'm part of the system. I don't think there's anything new here. Yeah, it's just the stats don't change anymore because they're locked in. Like we are. We locked in. Yay, peacetime. Yay. Oh, this is a long chapter, too. We are 20 years old. Yay.
A full adult now, I returned from the capital a changed man. Yet, my hometown was not the same as I had left it.
Oh, that don't look good.
Fate had difficult times in store for all of us.
I think this is about to be peacetime in quotation marks. Huh. That's an interesting flyer. A lantern? rebels are as cringe. Yeah. I kind of thought they would be cringe because it turned out they were poets. And we established my feelings about poets. But that's like, they were doomed from the start between the poets and Sophia. As the carriage wheels clack a steady rhythm over the cobblestones, you watch the lands of Magra rendered dry and desolate by ancient magic. Sail by the window. You are back in your home province, but you are no longer the boy who left it by this very road 4 years ago. You return a nobleman and a judge. You are continuing the family trade. You have returned to serve at the province's prefecture. Your home, Anazote, is but a few hours away along this dusty road. The carriage is stuffy and hot from the sun, even with the thick blinders shut tight. It is a familiar heat, but you will now need to get used to it again. The heat weighs heavy on you, but it also reminds you of your childhood. You will see your family again soon. To pass the time before you return home, you read your father's most recent letter. Again and again, you carefully reread your father's uneasy words, steeling yourself for your first real job in the service that awaits. Dear Power Lines, that's me. I anxiously await your return, my son. You are the third judge in our bloodline, the pride of our family. Yet these are hard times for a judge. By the Emperor's decree, Archduke Tarquinius Melanidas is no longer the overseer of Magra. The new overseer is the Emperor's own brother, Gaius Tempest. And now our province has been split by the enmity and strife between the Archduke and Overseer. The nobles have split into two factions, and so too have the commoners. Some side with the Archduke, loyal to their liege and determined to follow the traditions of old. Yet many judges and officials are eager to side with Gaius Tempest as the new Overseer. Compared to his brother Cornelius, he is less radical and more cautious too. But he, too, seeks to transform the empire and bring the estates to peace. Huh. I actually expected Gaius to be a dick and just be like Monrogue. But it sounds like Gaius might not be that bad. Which is interesting. Because I have mixed feelings about the Leonidas people. Because I kind of like the cut of their jib from what we've heard so far. Yet other Arcanians are outraged that Archduke Melanidas has been deposed. One of them is Dorius Otten, High Commander of Magra. Although Otten and his men are sworn to serve Gaius Tempest and follow his orders, it is no secret that his loyalty remains with the Archduke. While Gaius and the Archduke are at odds, there has been no open confrontation yet. I fear their patience may one day run dry. As for the judges at the prefecture, every day would deal with more and more litigation between nobles and commoners. Yet there are no imperial laws that clearly formalize the rights of all three estates. Wisdom, honor, and conscience are every judge's best advisors these days. You made the choice to serve the law, and you will have your work cut out for you. You will answer directly to Prefect Augustine Alborne, a long-standing friend of the family. Oh, I remember him. He's Stefan's uncle? Yeah. He needs strong allies now more than ever. With the support of people such as you and I, the prefect intends to alter the fate of our province. I am looking forward to seeing you back in Anazote Power Lines. That's me. He put the letter back in your pocket. The walls of Anazote have finally emerged on the horizon. A challenging job at the prefecture awaits you. But first, we are going home. Ooh. You are back in your home province. We were that. The new stuff in this chapter, only one of them will happen. Ooh, interesting. On the sentence. Ooh. So we do not betray Alborne. Justice. Justice is 8 or 9. Ooh. I think justice must be a new stat. Otten faces the court of honor. We betray Alborne. I think? Yeah. We are a careerist who betrays Alborne. Got it. Knight of the Serpents. The supporters of Archduke Melanias take over the city. Ooh, interesting. The family falls apart. I don't like the sound of that. Broken chains. The rebellious citizens take control of Anazote. With 10 justice? Really? Interesting. Or we die. Interesting. Okay. The most important events that may happen to the House of Brante at the end of this chapter. Ennobled by the sword. Ooh, we're already almost there. Ooh. We just need some more reputation. I think we're at... Where's House Brante? Reputation? Oh. Our reputation sucks. that one's going to be a little bit of a... That's going to be a stretch goal. Favored by the Overseer, the Brante family becomes hereditary dynasties of the sword, earning the favor of Overseer Gaius Tempest in a place at court. Huh? Oh, 2 different ways to reach it again. Got it. With more wealth and a glorious bloodline and a family of means. Okay, so that's that you buy your way in. Got it. Heir of the family. You succeed your elder brother Stefan as the heir of the Brantes. Ooh. If we're ennobled by the sword. But that means Stefan gets fucked. Strange. Or the Brante family is noble. Well. Events that can happen. More of these. Family means. Ooh, we got big wealth. Mother recovers. Do I care about that? Do I? Her ship sunk like 10 years ago. Gloria Brante. Robert adopts Gloria, and she becomes a full-fledged Brante. Huh. Branded by dishonor, the Brante name is dragged through the dirt, never to recover. Ew. Family at peace. Stefan not killed in duel. Stefan not secret plot. Gloria not secret plot. Gloria not betrothed. Strange. Oh, more stuff. Family in ruins. No wealth. Glorious bloodline. Ooh, reputation 10. Ooh. Deeds that you can accomplish on your chosen life path. Protector of the people. The people of Anazote know and praise you as a defender of the common people's rights. Okay, protect common folk. You earn the favor of someone very powerful indeed. Okay, we get a patron. The Lateri ritual. What the fuck? You participate in an enigmatic ritual of the long-dead race. Huh? That's strange. Court of the Honor Band. You band the Noble Court of Honor throughout Magra. That's... interesting. We got a promise with El Borni. Strange. Evidence against Otten. You now have the evidence you need to bring Dorius Otten to trial. Ooh. We don't like him. Occupation screen. Oh. Career. Ooh, cool. Tyranny of the Nobles. Well. Commodore sees power. It seems like Tyranny of the Nobles and Commodore sees power is pretty mutually exclusive. Okay. Continue. It is now the year 1138. The carriage stops. The familiar gate, your bedroom window, the same one you used to climb out of at night from time to time. The well-tended garden with its imported soil, delightful greenery, and mother's beloved violet irises. The porch you used to jump off when you were little. You are home. You touch the handle of the front door and halt for a moment. It has been 4 years since you left for Returna, but it feels like yesterday. The air inside is cool, as usual. Father cannot stand a stuffy room and insists on constantly airing out the house. You hear hurried footsteps coming from the direction of Father's study. Before you have time to take off your traveling cloak, you are crushed in Stefan's strong embrace. Yeah, we got bro. Your brother has grown taller and more broad-shouldered. When he detaches himself from you, you notice how harsh his features have become. He He looks even more like grandfather now. You've grown so much over the last 4 years, Powerlines. That's me. Just look at you. You left a low-born boy, but you've come back, Sir Brante. I'm so glad you joined us in the noble estate. Hell yeah. You respond by giving your brother a wrapped gift. Stefan unwraps it carefully. When he sees the sword, a boyish smile appears on his stern face. It's beautiful. What a wonderful gift, brother. Maybe it's our collection. What do you think? You go for it, bro. There's no hurry, Stefan. Let me have a look at the prefecture's new judge. Father approaches you, his hand extended. You shake it and wrap your arms around him. Father looks older. His back is hunched, and he squints. There are deep lines around his mouth, and several threads in the dark hair and mustache. Taking a step back, Father examines you from head to toe. What fine posture, yet excellent teachers. I'm so proud you made it, son. Hell yeah. Mother comes out of the living room, leaning on Nathan's arm. You immediately see signs of the illness you read about in the letters from home. Her back is bent, her hair is gray, a thin web of wrinkles covers her face, and her complexion has lost its color. She can barely stand unassisted. The ship is sinking. Nathan leads Mother to you. Slowly, very delicately, she embraces you. You press your face into her shoulder, breathing in the nearly forgotten, nearly beloved smell. Gaius is kind of the option that all of them equal. Yeah, he seems like a status quo guy. That makes sense. Mother holds your shoulders and studies your face for a long time. You've been away for so long, son. How you've grown. Just a short while ago, I was cradling you in my arms. Thankfully, you didn't shake us like you did Nate. You look so much like your father when he was your age, Sir Powerlines Brante. Nathan approaches you next. Oh, I don't think Nate's doing so good. Nate's not looking so good. Ew. Your younger brother is now as tall as you are, and his hair almost reaches his shoulders. But he still has the same lost look in his eye he had when he was a boy. Yeah, Nate needs to get his shit together, man. And here's your ne'er-do-well little brother. He hasn't changed a bit or grown an inch after all this time. He couldn't get into the seminary, so he just hangs around. Brother. Nate lets out a heavy sigh and awkwardly puts his arms around you. Okay. Not everyone can be built different like us. I'm glad to see you back, Powerlines. Home just hasn't been the same without you. So he's like 16 now, I think, isn't he? You hear a snort behind you. Everyone turns. At the top of the stairs stands Gloria, her arms across her chest. She is dressed as a man in culottes, a frock coat, and a necktie with a massive pin. The entire family waits for her to greet you. Stefan shakes his head disapprovingly. Your sister descends as if forcing herself to do it. A few steps away from you, Gloria stops and bows. I don't know, she's kind of rocking it. I don't know. She don't look at that. Welcome to your home, Sir Brante. Your sister looks thinner and leaner than she used to. She has dark circles under her eyes, as though she has been sleeping too little or crying too much. Enough pleasantries. Come on in. The table is set. Lydia has prepared a veritable feast for you. For the first time in years, the entire family is together. You can finally spend some time with another member of your family today. Don't tell me she's a witch. Don't do that to me. The last time this happened, grandfather showed up. I'm getting worried. Is grandfather about to show up again even though he's been dead for years? Mom's about to die. We already know that. Support Gloria. That -1 bro point. I don't know. Ask Nate questions. Or talk to Stefan. We could use more willpower. Nate's always been there for willpower, but he also seems pretty burnt out. Maybe he ran out of willpower. We might have used the last that was on tap. We'll bro it up. We'll bro it up. We could use some bro points. We need to get bro up there with Dad and Tommy. And that way we get the trifecta of Dad, best bro, and then literal bro. After the meal, you and Stefan lounge by the fireplace. You question your brother exhaustively about the changes that have taken place in your household while you were away getting your education. Family matters are mostly in my hands now. Father's service keeps him exceedingly busy. But it's time for the Brantes to become nobles of the sword. We are third generation nobility. That implies we have a right to a hereditary title. I have to socialize to build our reputation, to secure elite patronage for us. It is a grand cause. Now you share it with me. Remember that any action of yours can have an impact on the Brante name. Fair. Stefan frowns. Our family is excessively atypical. I respect Father's wish to let Lydia's illegitimate daughter stay with us, but there are limits. Gloria is an audacious rebel, and Nate is a useless, good-for-nothing. They do not know their place and often compromise the honor of the Brante family. But at least, you're going to prove yourself worthy of your new title. I have no doubt about it. Pray tell me what your life in the capital was like. Have you made any useful acquaintances? Our family would benefit from some good connections right now. We didn't think to do that, did we? Whoops! You delve into a discussion of recent news from the capital with your brother. Gloria passes you, casting a disappointed glance in your direction, then disappears upstairs. Alright. Stefan is 1 point away from being maxed out. Shut up, Gloria. First day of service. Will be next time, because it's 4:30. I love this game so much. Okay, that's it for tonight. If you guys enjoyed this, go and like and subscribe to the channel. I'm taking tomorrow off of work for an appointment, so I'm planning to stream around 6 p.m. or 8 p.m. Eastern time. I haven't decided what I'm gonna stream tomorrow yet, though. I was originally planning on doing more Doom, Doom 1993, the original. But that was before I knew I was taking the day off work. So since I can stream for longer tomorrow, I want to do something else besides Doom, because that's better for short streams. I don't know if I can do more Brante tomorrow, because there's so much talking in this game. As much as I love it, I probably need to rest my voice from just narrating tomorrow. But I'll figure it out tomorrow. So hope everyone has a fantastic Thursday. I'll see the Fang Gang later. See everyone later. Take care, everyone. Bye.